currently there's a discourse going around on Twitter about whether or not femboys can use she, her pronouns. What are your thoughts on this situation? All right, 45 minutes on the clock. Go ahead.
Oh, I guess this is, I didn't see this topic in there, but I'm going to go straight for this one. This is kind of ridiculous. As much as I'm like a supporter of trans rights and all that stuff, this is like making it way harder for people to understand and want to connect to these issues. If like you're a femboy, it's basically saying you're a boy. But if you're saying like, if you're trying to use her pronouns as well, you're implying that you're a woman. And like saying you're both, yeah, if you're gender fluid, you can be both at any given point. But like, bro, like choose one, right? Like femboy or not, like I get like a lot of trans people are like comfortable in those spaces with femboys, but you can still be a trans person while being in a space with femboys. But like this is going to only be used for ammo from conservatives to like muddy the waters, make things more difficult. Like right now, I only see this as like a Twitter thing. So it's right now it's only like the terminally online like crowd right now, but it can spread and it's going to make things more complicated. Like let's like figure out the part we're at right now before we start like throwing all sorts of extra things out there, like claiming that we identify as deers and things like that. So that's what I got to say.
Yeah, just to piggyback off that, I agree with Chris here a little bit in a way where it's kind of just like when we take these internet terms like femboy and like there's like other terms like that pop up. I think femboy is pretty popular. These aren't like concrete categories, they're not like set in stone or anything. So I do see how people, as language evolves and how people just have cultures online, like this can just be a thing that people do. They can identify as a femboy and use she, her pronouns, I suppose. I just think that we come at a crossroads where we have to like deal with like what pronouns actually mean and should function as. Because if we start to do this, there are arguments about lesbians that identify as he, him. I think it's kind of like the other side of this coin, where it just becomes incredibly difficult to have conversations and accurately like identify who you want to talk to without having to, personally go out and find out what that person's specific set of pronouns they want to use, even if they give you other information that would suggest the opposite or different. I think it just makes it like incredibly hard to just exist with these ideas and even introduce it to people that may have never even considered that people don't use their assigned at birth pronouns.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're a feminine boy, you are not a woman. If you're like trans woman, you're not a boy, unless you're fluid and you might change, like at one point or time or another. If you start telling people you can be both at the same time, I will agree with you. I will support you 100%. But this stuff is going to go on forever, right? The arguments we have with certain I won't say all conservatives. There's a lot of conservatives who are well, I'd hope they are that support trans rights and things like that. But there are also some that keep these conversations going, that make these things hard when it comes to trying to get people to understand. They put out misinformation. They just muddy conversations, make this whole thing hard. It gets ridiculous. As much as I want to support, there's certain things we have to rein back until we're in a distant future where anybody can be everything if they want it to be. But this is not right now. This is only making things harder.
I guess I'm just kind of confused, right? Why is it that anybody thinks that they need to take any type of authoritarian control over what individuals make for decisions in their own life? And then second, how they choose to interact with the communities that accept them for who they are, right? So it's like whether you have an opinion or not, it is great and that's all fine, right? But the only reason why we end up ever talking about these things is whether or not the government's going to get involved with some type of legislation, right? So if there's going to be any type of legislation, right, anytime the government gets involved is always at the point of a gun, right? And since it's at the point of a gun, the answer for me is obviously fucking no, right? So the conservative take on this is obviously freedom, right? Now, if somebody wants to identify in a certain way and their community has no problem, going along with whatever it is that if they decide that they want to dress up like a furry, right? And they want to be addressed as, fucking Queen Amidala, it doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter at the end of the day. Their community accepts them for who they are. So femboys, whatever the case is, I frankly just don't give a shit. That's just kind of what my take is on it.
Well,
I can actually
that's,
follow that up.
something
Go
that I
ahead, go
gotta
ahead.
say about this though is just let's go to an authoritative source on this. I think this will help clear a lot of things up. So, according to Urban Dictionary, a femboy is a person typically under the age of 30 years who is biologically male. However, this person will often present himself in a very feminine manner. And the fact that if one is a femboy says nothing about one's sexuality or about their gender identity. Now, if this discussion is going on Twitter, then while people can have those debates about what a femboy actually is, I don't think that it's going to go quite into the territory where anyone is really going to have to worry about an authoritarian government like making people recognize femboys' existence. I just think that's silly.
I just think it's ridiculous that this is even something to be that concerned with. For Christ's sakes, I'm old enough to remember the great pronoun wars, that followed the great meme wars of 2016 and such. Respect the pronouns, and to quote one of my favorite high school dropouts, how dare you actually question another person's pronouns? Follow your own damn rules for once. And look, I don't care. Look, you can identify as whatever. I am going to respect the individual, give them the respect that I believe that is due. I treat everyone equally. There should be no reason to treat anyone differently unless they've proven a reason to be treated differently. And to sit there and go, oh, clutch your pearls and go, no, I can't use those pronouns for that individual. Well, hey, we've been told multiple times conservatives need to get off our high horse, stop, not respecting other people. Well, follow your own damn rules. That's all I'm saying. And it's not that hard. Look, I don't care if you're a femboy. I don't care if you're a trans woman, trans male. I treat everyone as an individual. I treat them with respect until obviously have no reason to respect them. So why not respect their pronouns?
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at with it. I think just to push back on Chris just a little bit, my fellow tier 3, it's really not that hard to call someone by the pronouns that they want.
See,
And
this is
while I do understand what you're saying, and I am actually kind of on your side in the war of rhetoric against the conservative branch of politics in this country. Like, I don't think that this is one of those places that necessarily that we should wage a battle on. I don't see. I mean, first from the conservatives that I've heard so far on the panel, I haven't heard anything other than basically what I just said. And also, I think this is a terminally online problem. This is one of those problems that can be categorized under hashtag first world problem. Like, it's at least from what I know about it, this seems to be a very small thing that's happening on Twitter, mainly, not something that's happening in real life. Like, we're not talking about legislation. We might be talking about like banning people if they're misgendering people, but that seems to be about the extent of it.
Yeah, that's what I said. I did say it was a terminally online thing, and I did say that I'm going to call you by whatever pronouns like you want to be referred to as. I don't for me, it doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter in the sense that that's what you want to be referred to as personally. That's how you identify. That's fine. Again, this is a terminally online thing, and there are conservatives and liberals and leftists arguing this. And then it's more than this, right? I was on Twitter and I shouldn't have been, right? And I've seen all the discourse. It was
Your
terrible.
first mistake.
Yeah, it's it's the worst mistake. But again, if I didn't do that, right, the only thing we'd have here is just nobody having really anything to say. But I respect people's pronouns, even though a large portion of some of these people's audiences really don't. But yeah, you can say that, but we know the situation on the ground, know what's happening. We see how people react to these things, right? The idea of pronouns in general, right? That people can change their gender or transition to another gender. This isn't something that's cut and dry and all conservatives feel oh, we should respect each other. This isn't true. This isn't anywhere near true. We know this. So like
just-
the harder the rhetoric gets, like the more difficult things become, the harder it is to fight these battles. And I'm not saying that like if that's the definition on Urban Dictionary, where like the gender isn't like, it doesn't really need to specify being a boy, it's just like, you know, sort of like just a category like Kevin was saying, then that's fine for me, right? I can change my stance on that and be like, all right, that's the definition. Although I don't know how Urban Dictionary works in terms of who puts those definitions there or when or why. You know what I mean? So if that's what it means, cool.
So
All I'm
yeah,
saying is,
So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I totally get like what you're saying about the rhetoric, and I actually do agree with you overall in general about especially people on the left using really shitty rhetoric, and that essentially being capitalized by the right wing, but especially when it comes to issues of trans rights or sexuality, gender, etc. These are complicated issues, and there's really just no way to dumb it down into some kind of I just that you just can't do it, and like it from what I've been able to see. And so like yeah, I guess some of these things are going to give the other side ammunition, but like honestly, that other side is always going to make some type of ammunition about this. Whether it was they were going to make it was always going to be something.
sure.
I mean,
Alright,
it
so
actually
hold
is
on.
kind
I
of
don't agree with
easy.
it
It
at
is
all.
kind of
Hold
easy
on.
to actually put into a category, right? Like it's time and a place. You know what I mean? Time and a place, right? Like it might not be appropriate for me when I get elected president to give the State of the Union address in a Speedo, right? I absolutely have no problem doing myself, but it might not be the most appropriate thing to do at that time and a place, right? And this goes for any other behavior that human beings would engage with in society, right? There is a time and a place where something can be considered appropriate or inappropriate, right? And until human beings start to come to some kind of common language to what's appropriate and what's inappropriate, depending on where they are at, and then understand the scale of that, is where the conversations are breaking down. Like you have to be able to think more than just what's inside the narrow-minded focus of what you got right in front of you, and be able to open it up to what's going on in the world at large. So
And especially
how
with-
do, hold on, how do Insaki want to say something?
All right, yeah, Chris, I want to push back on something that you said. Right, you basically said that you want, you know, the femboys to pick one, right? Pick one. Stop flip flopping, right? Like
no,
I'm
not
pretty sure those
stop.
words came out of your mouth, but
No, I said that gender fluidity is legitimate and you can do
Yeah.
that, right? Not I didn't say like just pick one permanently. I'm saying when it comes to the term femboy, right? Are you like, again, like Kevin pointed out the definition, and I assumed the definition was just feminine boy, right? Because that's how you fem boy, right? So that's how I took the definition. Now after you read it out, I just like
Okay, so-
changed my mind on it. So like,
okay, so you
and again,
revised. Okay, I got
Yeah.
you. No, but what I find interesting though is like how all of a sudden it feels like some people on the left side of the aisle are kind of gatekeeping the like who identifies as what, uses what pronouns, right? I thought, you know, people on the left tend to be, you know, oh, you want to identify as ze, them, they, them, she, her. Like we were supposed to be like very accepting of it, right? But all of a sudden, once we get to like the femboy topic, now all of a sudden it's an issue. Which I don't have a Twitter, so I didn't like see the whole, you know, thing blow up this week. But you know, like I just don't see why all of a sudden, you know, we're kind of telling people, you know, oh no, you can't use those pronouns, right? Like what I guess like my question to like the panelists like on the left side of the aisle is like what changed? Why all of a sudden is this an issue?
the framing is pretty dumb because nobody said you can't do, because you can do whatever you want, right? You can't
Yeah.
use those pronouns. The argument is about the confusion it causes, right? When you claim yourself to be a femboy, right? And if you're she, her, the confusion comes in where like, yes, I want to support someone who wants to use whatever pronouns they want to use. But the term femboy was, I thought, like in my experience, I thought that was exclusively for people who identified as he, him boys, right? So the confusion comes, like it gets dangerous when like say a trans person like said, like, you know, is on Twitter. They're like, they're influencer or whatever. They're like, they post out like, yeah, I'm a femboy. Then you got someone who, those closet transphobes or those conservatives who don't really like those things, right? Trans
What about
thing.
super straight?
And then like you say you're femboy, and they're like, well, yeah, you are a boy, and like you are a feminine boy. You're not you're not a woman. But
Well, super
Yeah, but
straight
with
is
the same view-
transphobic
Super straight
garbage,
is-
though.
yeah, super straight
It's
is
kind of a
super
difference.
stupid.
Is it though? I mean, it just seems like people are just like, as a result of some of these other things that have been coming out in society, now there's like it's almost like a negative kind of, view on people if they're just heterosexual, right? So it's like, of course, people that are just heterosexual are going to go, oh no, I'm just super straight, right? So it's like, it's almost just like another one of these means for the news media to say, create a divisive rhetoric behind something, and then like, here we go, right? So I don't
What
know.
makes you feel
like
that
if
being
if you
heterosexual
have
is
any
being
type of
attacked?
negative view with regard to or positive either kind of way with any of this language, right? I would say that it does more to reveal individual bias than anything else, right? Because
Well,
like I don't really care either way.
Say that. I wouldn't necessarily say that, because the whole purpose of the super straight thing being created was the fact that people didn't want to sleep with, trans women who had penises, which,
How is that
would
transphobic?
imply some sort of transphobic,
No,
It's not
that is
just-
not
tendency.
transphobic.
I'll just say
That is
it's-
a sexual preference, and how dare you judge someone based on their sexual preference? Super straight just means that they're not attracted to trans women. That doesn't mean that they're saying trans women aren't women. They're just saying they're not attracted to it. It's their preference. So with
This
that
is
being
super-
said, you are being very heterophobic, and you need
This
to
is
stop.
this is issue right here. You're like someone making the claim that they're unattracted to all of one group, period, right? There's some phobia like underneath there, right? Because you don't know who you'll meet that you'll be extremely attracted to, and they'll be very much trans, right? And you won't know it until they say something about it, right? Either they probably had bottom surgery, or you just probably haven't went into the act yet. But you'll be attracted to them. You probably have, right? You probably seen some images of girls online, thought they were attractive, but because you don't go any further than that. You don't know if they're trans or not. Making the blanket statement claim that you're unattracted to all trans women is like covered in transphobia. This is all transphobia.
True.
So okay, well, this is what we're changing the topic to apparently. So is genital preference valid? And I think
Well, I was gonna say, I thought that was just a brief divergence from the topic at hand, because I don't think the whole femboy thing is really that much of an issue. I'm sorry to interrupt the host. Sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, we're saying is general preference valid? Sorry, Aircraft Sparky, you're saying that
If general preference is not valid, then basically every little battle that the left has been talking about for years when they talk about sexual preference is now being tossed aside. You're moving the goalposts.
You gotta stop the bullshit.
Sexual preference, sexuality.
Either all preferences are legit or they're not. What is it?
So here's like the actual distinction. General preference is legitimate. If you want to be able to be with somebody, like if part of your goals in having a relationship is to be able to like one day maybe have a kid, that's valid. The thing that isn't valid and the thing that you're conflating is the fact that super straight, the movement is somehow valid
to make
the
fun
meme.
of the ridiculousness of the preference argument, for Christ's sakes. If you can't,
So you're gonna admit that it's a meme and at the same time want us to take it very seriously, which is pretty disingenuous as a whole.
I can't even take this argument seriously, period.
Well, here's the argument. Having a general preference doesn't make you super straight. One, being super straight means that you're part of this movement that seems to want to just isolate trans people, right? No one is actually.
Wait a minute, hold on. If that's true, then why is there a distinction between Black Lives Matter, the organization, and Black Lives Matter, the movement?
That's like a
right.
totally
Okay,
disanalogous
so since
comparison.
we can understand that there's
no,
a
that's not
between
the same. No,
movement
you're
and
incorrect, and you won't let someone else speak.
like
You're gonna keep going with this incorrect bullshit.
It's not incorrect bullshit, right? What it is a different way for you to be able to understand what is it Sparky's saying, because of what you're trying to do right now is to put him into a corner, and what I'm not allowing you to do is that very fucking thing.
No,
So
you're not
because of
allowing me
that-
to
By
make
bringing
sense
up
because
the
what I'm
irrelevant matter of Black Lives Matter, we're talking about
I get
genital
it. You just want to
preferences,
create
not
controversy for
PLL.
controversy's sake. So I guess
no one
that's
is
what I'm
creating
here for. So
controversy.
that's what
You
we're
are
gonna
the
do.
one that's creating controversy by not shutting the fuck up and letting someone else speak, dude.
I'm
Also,
doing
that
a
he
good
made
job
this
of keeping
statement.
my mouth shut for
And
the
also,
majority
you
of
can
this
just
thing.
defend
let
himself.
Sparky defend himself as well. I think that's also just
Yeah.
Oh,
good
he
practice,
definitely
maybe.
can, right? But
So
since
you
I'm
should
trying
shut
to
the
say
fuck
something
up,
now, I'm
maybe.
talking.
So
Right?
Sparky.
So
And when
maybe
you
you
keep
should
engaging
stop.
me, that's how that works.
Okay. Please, we have a limited amount of time. So Sparky, you can respond. You're muted, buddy. Sorry, you're muted.
I think this controversy of the femboys claiming their own pronouns, it is not a controversy. It is Twitter bullshit. Go out and touch some damn grass and respect people. Moving on. This conversation is a waste of time, breath, and people's existence. Come on, man.
Oh no, you just got
I don't
caught. You
even.
ain't
Is this
getting
a
out of this.
response?
No, it's
Holy
not.
shit.
He's just got caught and he's trying to
Oh,
back away as
okay.
fast
What
as
did I
he
get
can.
caught in?
Yeah,
What did I get caught in? Come on, strike
You
first.
got
You
caught
didn't even
Strike
get
hard.
caught because
transphobic. You
CTV
got
had to run
caught on.
defense
There's
for you.
nothing transphobic about being super straight. Not wanting to sleep with someone who is trans is not a bad thing. It's not even a bigoted thing.
These
Everyone
two
has
things
the
that you're saying are not one and the same.
It's
I'm
not.
sorry to inform you. Like having a general preference is a normal thing, and you extrapolating that to making someone super straight because they have a general preference is completely not true. And
No,
that's just
what's
not how it works.
disingenuous about it is you
Because
attempting to
super
only
straight
correlate
movement-
like
Oh
what
my
the
God.
thing that I laid out to begin with whenever I explained this thing, right, with super straight versus the understanding of it versus the movement over here, right, which is why I gave the correlation to BLM to give you a couple of different ways to be able to see this thing. So then you go, oh, okay, well, that kind of makes sense. But you're continuing down this dialogue, and then now we're here where I'm going to say again, super straight, whenever I first heard it, and for the majority of people when they first heard it, was just like, oh, so like because of everything else, now this is going to be the thing that is like, hey, I'm heterosexual. Oh, but instead I'm super straight, right?
Yeah.
And then like here comes the old definition of like everything else that y'all have said now to come with it, right? So like all I'm really trying to do is give you a different way to look at it so that it doesn't inherently create controversy. But I know as soon as you hear a thing, man, you got to go hard and try to fight that one thing, right? And that's just where I'm sitting here and I'm like, it's silly, but you know what? If you think that it's going to be the hill for you to die on so that you can be getting this kind of look, then go for it, right? Like,
And the reason
Not
why the
necessarily
meme,
hill to die on. It's
Yeah.
it's denying objective reality when you're thinking that something like super straight, because we can disagree on your point, CTV. Like it's not either what you say or what all the rest of us say as being one thing that's correct or incorrect, but objectively speaking, the whole concept of super straight literally popped out of the ether because it was a backlash against transgender people.
no.
I'm sorry.
That is not where it came from. Where it
Explain
came
the
from,
meme origins, please.
where it
Meme
came
historian.
from,
Educate us, Aircraft.
Sparky, please. But what it came down to, what it actually originated from, was when people tried to slide the goalpost of what the actual definition of what straight is. Look, if you are an individual who sleeps with a trans person, that really isn't straight. It's maybe little
See?
bi, little whatever. So with the whole
It actually is
Just
straight.
just say it. You want to
Okay,
say
look,
trans
we're gonna-
women aren't women? Just go ahead and say it.
Yeah,
Like,
you can just own the
no.
position.
No. Here, I will say it loudly. I will say it proudly. Trans women are not women because gender and sex, biological sex, are the exact same thing.
No,
I'm
they're
hey,
not.
I'm not sorry.
transphobia.
Words mean things. So,
No,
but I will
it
sit
was
there and
too
treat
easy to
a
get out of
trans
you.
woman with the same respect that I would treat a regular woman, that I would treat another man. It doesn't matter to me.
Except,
But-
acknowledging them as women.
Yeah,
Yeah, also-
only
Yeah,
if they
that's a
ask
key
you.
component to respecting someone, which is acknowledging their gender.
Hey,
I mean,
look,
essentially
think
what you're
honesty
saying
is
is
transphobic.
that I'm super fake because to your face I'll say, "Oh yeah, you're a woman," but behind your back I'm gonna say, "No, I don't believe that shit at all. I was just a
I think
fucking
it's being
coward, and I
super
couldn't say that shit
polite.
to your face."
I think it's being super polite, to be honest, because you're trying to protect other people's feelings. But look, I don't actually equate
Protect your
trans with
feelings?
bad.
Aircraft, it's not protecting other people's feelings. It's you fundamentally misunderstanding what sex and gender even mean.
No,
So,
I
let's-
completely understand what sex and gender means.
Then why
The
do you say
problem
that
is-
trans women aren't real women?
because they are not.
Educate us.
Okay, so what you are conflating is gender roles versus actual gender. Gender happens to be related to sex. That's a biological thing. It's just another
Incorrect.
word. It is a
That's
synonym.
not correct.
Listen, Dictionary Warrior. Listen, Dictionary Warrior. Go look up, and the definition you're using is like 3 or 4 little deals down. The one I'm using is number 1. That means that is the most commonly used definition. This is the one that the normies listen to. What you were doing is you were trying to redefine words in order to fit your worldview. You are wrong, person who identifies
Actually,
as
I'm going
lawyer.
by
So, you
what
know-
the federal law says in the United States, and I would know this because of the fact that I've read the Supreme Court opinions on it most recently. So let me educate you a little bit on what this is. So, what you're thinking of, the physical characteristics, is sex. Sex is the genitalia that people have, as in a PP or a vajayjay. So
The-
going over gender,
Okay.
gender is merely a representation of how gender is basically how somebody presents themselves to the world. So while it may be somewhat related to a person's sex,
So
the
is
gender is
Rapido
not
a man?
dependent on what a sex is. So for example, having a beard may be traditionally male. Having shorter hair may be traditionally male. But that doesn't mean that I may necessarily identify as a man. In this case, I do. I'm a cis het guy all the way. But you just saying that gender is related to either having a PP or vajayjay is kind of ridiculous, in my opinion.
And
Well,
yeah,
we're all
it's
just
gonna
based on
lead,
here.
objective
You
reality.
can call it a penis and
Because
vagina.
it's gonna lead to the same fucking boring ass argument where they go, oh well, it's about having children. Oh well, what about the cis women who can't have children? Or that, like, it's just so fucking boring, this fucking line of reasoning. Why can't
is
you
all
just
we-
accept
many
that
conservatives.
trans women are women and just move the fuck on? It's funny
I have
because
a-
like earlier you were saying about how like, oh, this is like a non-issue and blah blah
It
blah.
is
You know,
a
I kind of
non-issue.
think like the whole femboy thing that we were originally talking about is a bit of a
Is the
non-issue. But
non-issue.
this
That's
is
what I
a
was
fucking
referring
issue.
to.
This
No, it
is
isn't.
a fucking issue. This is about respecting people, and you're
Yeah.
essentially what you said. And fucking correct me if I'm wrong. Is I'll say it to their face, but behind their back, I'm gonna say something completely different.
Look,
Okay, so where do you think respect starts? That'd be a great question to
at
ask.
your face, but it should probably
Your
also
face.
be real.
Actually,
right?
it doesn't. Right? Respect
Should it
starts
also
with
be
tell-
real?
No. Respect
Wait,
starts
should
with.
it also be
I
real?
know. Wait. Right.
You're not going
Right.
to answer the
So
question, are you?
I'm trying to, but when you keep talking and running your mouth as cute as it is, it doesn't actually allow me to be all the time because as soon as somebody starts talking,
I
right,
loved
and
your
the mic
bikini
channel gets
pic, by
taken
the
up,
way.
then words start being said and other people can't hear the other words that are being said, right? So keep
CTV, I
it-
loved your bikini
Oh,
pic,
look,
by the
look at
way.
that
CTV,
smile.
go
He
ahead.
just, he just can't help but address me because
ahead,
I'm so
CTV.
damn good looking. I appreciate
It's
it, right?
true.
So
That's true, actually.
I know. I understand, right?
I
My
like your
wife
hair.
deals with it every day. It is what it is. Now, respect starts with telling the truth. That's where respect actually starts, right? So with that said, any trans person that has came into my community
aggressive.
understands that, like, by definition and the way that language is, that it's rooted in sex, right?
What
'Cause
about
gender
Aircraft
is
Sparky's
just,
community?
oh my Jesus Christ.
Let him finish.
Oh my
You gotta
Je-
let him finish.
Oh,
CTV, go ahead,
Jesus.
please.
Thanks, Prime. Now, gender is the spectrum of masculine and feminine traits that are on a wide variety of spectrum, right? Which is why, like, dying on the hill of gender is almost pointless, right? Like, it actually doesn't matter. I root the conversations in sex because it's biological, right? So that being said, that's the understanding that I come into the conversation with and why those things are separated. Now, when it comes to something as simple as how you're identifying in a pronoun, it's like, okay, sure, right? But when it comes down to the actual realities and you're trying to get into sexual preference, which is an individual right that someone has to be able to choose who they're going to engage with in that way, that's where the conversation becomes different. And you have to be able to understand the difference between those two if you're going to actually have a genuine conversation.
So I'm genuinely glad that that's the case for your community. I'm addressing Aircraft Sparky. It didn't sound like you were defending Aircraft Sparky in anything you just said, because But because what you just said was what I've been saying the whole time, which is kind of what we've all been
Oh, I
saying
don't
the
think
whole
it was
time
what you've
until
been
Aircraft
saying.
Sparky went off the
I don't
fucking
think-
deep end and said that trans women aren't women. That's
How is
that's
that
what we're
going off the
talking
deep
about. It
end?
sounds
think
like
it's
you
How
what
is
don't
that
agree
not
with
going
that
off the
statement.
deep end?
Well, hold on.
I don't think that's what you were saying.
I'm
I think
arguing with
that
two
was like-
conservatives at once.
like what I said was it. You know
And you're
what
doing
needed
an
to be
excellent
said to
job
bring
of it,
levity
Captain
to the room.
Jones.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Right?
you.
Yeah. So
I'm
so,
sorry.
you know.
Were you defending Aircraft Sparky?
Oh, were you
CPD?
not listening? Oh,
No,
again, not
I
listening.
wasn't.
Not surprising. Yeah.
I told
Okay,
you I took
so-
an edible. I've been smoking joints.
You said
Go ahead and
something about
I
the
get it.
women.
Multitasking
something
Multitasking is
about the
something that the
woman.
left has a hard time with, which is why understanding levels of government seems to be beyond you.
That-
So-
that was a really bad own.
Prime
I
laughed.
feel
You know
very
why
owned
Prime
right
laughed?
now.
Because Prime got the joke. The rest of you sitting there with your, that stunned look
well, I
on your
wasn't
face goes,
listening, so
Sure, that
I
was
just don't
laugh.
have the level of intellect necessary to keep up with these, higher level jokes, right? So there it is.
Maybe it just wasn't
Whatever helps
funny.
you sleep, buddy.
Okay, all right. We can maybe focus, right? We have 14 minutes left on the clock, so want to get your point across. A hard one. So I'm not sure if you were trying to talk previously. If you weren't, that's fine.
Not really. I mean, I just think this conversation is kind of like it's just going to go in circles because, if you're talking in like sex aspect, it's very different than if you're talking in the gender aspect. So I think like my conservative counterparts are more talking in like the sex aspect, like. But
so you disagree? You disagree with them about whether if sex and gender are synonymous?
Yeah, no, they are different.
Okay.
Gender is more about like the cultural roles and whatever. Like
The cultural role, the gender norms. Yes, that is exactly what gender is.
You're trying to
Yes.
separate these ideas.
you're
Sparky,
no,
but
no,
they're
no,
literally
wait, hold on, hold on.
Related to gender, they're not
Hold
actually
on,
the
okay.
same thing.
Wait, am I
Okay,
a
look,
female
the gender
for cleaning
roles-
the house?
Uh,
I'm so
gender roles-
fucking
so-
confused right now. Like, what are you trying to say?
Maybe you should go make me a sandwich and let me finish. I'll take care of that real quick.
Well,
look.
false
It's
misogyny.
like
I
my
don't even know
favorite
what the
sandwich
fuck.
place was a
Aircraft
bunch of
Sparky,
dudes
I'm out of
running it.
ingredients.
I don't know
I
what that
can't make you a
means.
sandwich. Please, my
I-
big hunky
all right,
man.
I
Why
think
won't you
anybody
show me
can
the
make a
way?
sandwich. I'm just so
So-
confused.
Okay,
by
okay,
I have a-
your
I have a
argument.
question.
sorry, gender norm. Sorry, I want to focus on this. We got one more
Look.
time.
Here's the deal.
Right.
Here's the deal. The idea that gender is the same thing as gender norms is ridiculous. Gender norms are going to be the cultural roles for each individual gender. So a lot of people want to conflate gender and gender norms or gender roles. Okay, there's a reason why there's different terms because they're different. So with that being said, what does gender mean? Gender is another word for sex, for biological sex. Do you have an innie or an outie? Which one is it? Okay,
Actually,
look,
actually,
I
I think
can
he's
respect
not-
anyone.
What is
I
going
can
on?
respect anyone to their face and still think that they're somewhat full of shit. I am actually doing it right now, for the most part. Of course,
That's-
Captain A.
they're
Jones.
not the same definition.
This is really
Yeah,
ridiculous.
like why would there be two different words? Why would we even say
Like,
sex and
ju-
gender if gender is
Hold on,
literally
hold on,
just
hold on.
biological?
So, okay, hold
Can you
on.
answer that one?
Can I clarify what Aircraft is saying? Essentially, what he's saying is that trans women
Did you just misname
are
him on
not
purpose?
women in
Did
the
you
traditional sense of women as we see it in the construct
Did
of
you
our
just
society.
misname him on purpose? I'm just curious.
Can you stop the
CTV,
fall outrage? and
CTV,
come
I'm not.
on?
I mean, for-
You know,
I
CTV,
mean, I'm just-
something
I mean,
is
I'm
really.
not
Hold on,
outraged
hold
at
on.
all. I could not care
Can I
less.
answer you,
Someone on the
CTV?
left finds pronouns
You
to be
talk
so
about
important,
cutting
right?
people off when
Like,
they're
you
trying
just-
to answer,
you just
but
purposefully
here you are.
misnamed someone whenever they've already said.
Loud
noise.
Right?
We
You've
have,
already
so
said
we
they
have
like
11
Sparky.
minutes left. I just
Well,
want to
CTV.
get this across.
I have
CTV.
like,
It's
you
funny
know,
because right now
no,
you're
stop fucking
defending
up.
Aircraft
Oh my God.
Sparky.
Just
Can we
stop
have Chris
fucking up.
jump in?
And I won't
Hey,
have to say nothing,
knock it off.
right?
Let's
Yeah.
focus. We only have a limited amount of time. All right, Chris, give it a try.
I have a big question. Does super straight differentiate between like post and pre-op like trans people?
No.
Okay, so even if they don't have an outie, they're still not women in your eyes. So like that definition is out the window, right?
No. I think what you don't understand is cosmetic surgery doesn't change anything biologically. All it does is change the appearance. Having an open wound that will never properly heal or must be reopened multiple years afterwards, or a micro penis that was installed does not make you more of a woman or a man necessarily. What it makes you is
what?
an altered person is all it is. It's a plastic surgery.
This is why we don't have so many trans people in these communities, because they come out and they say
That's funny.
ridiculous
I
shit.
have trans
and,
people
like-
in my community, and they are great people. But they
it feels
realize that I'm
sorry
not
for
going to
them.
sit there
I doubt
and
that.
pretend.
Unfortunately, the
that.
only thing
You
that we
doubt
seem
that.
to have confirmed is the fact that, super straight doesn't really care if a trans person transitions, because at the end of the day, it is all about just excluding trans people, i.e., transphobia. Say it with me, kiddos. Super
Yeah.
straight
Super
is
fucking disgusting.
transphobic.
So
Yeah,
okay,
everything that's come out of
Hold on.
Sparky's mouth has been super fucking disgusting.
Awesome,
And what's
awesome.
even worse, and
Gosh.
what's even hold on, aircraft. Calm your jets there, aircraft. What's
that was
even
good.
worse is CTV sitting there and
Again
and
with the
defending
misnaming. Again with the misnaming.
Wait,
Again with it.
What's
Like
what's
you
your
already
what's your
told
name?
once, and then we go through it again, right? And it's
What's
even
your
on
name?
the
It's
fucking
not
screen.
CTV.
It's like you have all of these the fucking tools at your disposal to be able to operate
I know, it's crazy.
in good faith in
This
this
weed is
society.
really good,
And you
I agree.
choose an arrogant fucking asshole. That's all you're
This
doing
weed is
right
really
now.
good. I do agree with
Right?
that.
It's amazing to me that someone that's on the
Oh,
left
I
that
get
would
it.
say, "I need to be listened to. Please listen
I
to
get
me."
it. I
but
think
I'm
I get
going
it.
At
It's
the same time,
hold on.
disrespect someone else. So the
Hold on,
only
CTV.
logical answer to that is, "Fuck you, Captain A. Jones."
CTV,
You're
hold
just
on.
Just
I get
trying
it.
to
It's just
steamroll his
everything
way
that
to a
you would say that
conversation
you're not.
with a bad
It's
joke.
crazy.
Hard wooden sock. Give it a try.
Yes.
All right. So back to what I was saying before, like we all started screaming at each other. Like sex and gender are not the same, right? And like I hate to break it to you, Sparky, all right, but they're just not the same, right? And gender norms and gender do coincide together, right? Because
Well, they're related. Yes, they are tangentially related
okay,
because
okay,
the gender roles are normally are normally handed out through culture by sex, which happens to be gender.
By
No.
gender, not
No,
by sex.
sex-
Why
It's
would
called
these?
gender
Why would there be two
Gender is
different words?
sex.
Sparky? Can you
hold
please
on,
answer?
hold on. All right, so do you think sex and gender are the same thing?
Yes, I believe they're synonyms.
Okay, but if you actually read the definitions of both of them, they are not the same thing, right? Do you want me to read them for you?
So look, we can cherry pick. We can play the definition game if you really want to. I can go
Okay,
cherry
but
pick
it
this stuff
earlier.
all day long with you. I can
Yeah.
play this game too. And
Listen,
the deal
I'm
is,
coming to you as
I'm
a
going.
conservative.
I don't care what side you're on. See, that's the problem. You think this is a team sport. I'm not going to sit here and simp to someone when I don't agree with them. I'm going to sit there and tell them when they're freaking wrong. So
you guys
if
remember my
you
argument
think
about
this is a
femboys?
side thing, you're wrong.
You guys remember my argument about femboys? How conservatives have some like fucking terrible takes on it and like muddy the conversation and make stupid fucking like claims. This is what I'm talking about. And they tried to like
is a
completely
controversy.
brush that off in the beginning and try to push that on like me as a leftist, right? That I'm trying to like discredit and like not respect people's pronouns when I know exactly what the fuck is gonna happen. People like fucking Sparky and critically thinking veteran. Did I get that right? I don't want to misname you. Like will say all day
can say
how much they
CTV.
respect you, right? How much they like respect your pronouns and how much they don't care, right? But will treat like hiding bigotry behind the back as politeness. Got that from somebody in my comments. Thank you for that. And also like act like they're like above it all, right? But when it comes down to the nitty gritty, when we actually get into the conversation, we see like they completely disagree. They don't like this like conversation at all, and like they feel persecuted because of it, right? They feel persecuted because like trans women get to like be considered real women, right? Well, I don't want to sleep with a trans woman. You don't have to sleep with anybody you don't want to sleep with. But the problem is when you make these blanket claims, right? You just saying for the rest of my life, even if you meet somebody, you might like change your mind completely, right? You're just dismissing that whole thing. When you do that, there's some bigotry involved in that, right? You just cut everyone off. like just at this hard line right here, you don't have to like penises. But like not all trans women have penises. You do know that, right? So that's fine, right? You don't have to like trans women at all. If you come across trans women you don't like, you just never find one you're attracted to, that's fine. But just to put it out there, the ether, just let everybody know, oh, I don't like trans women, right? I'm super straight. You're doing that for a purpose, right? We had this conversation before in Open Business. You're doing this for a purpose. You're letting everybody know I don't respect trans women. So
not wanting to sleep with someone does not mean I don't respect them. See, there's a difference.
That's not what I said. You literally didn't listen.
No. See, no, super straight. The whole super straight thing is, look, not attracted to trans women, don't want to sleep with them. That is actually a preference. So it's not being disrespectful to say, hey, I don't want to sleep with that person. It's just, what is the deal? So look, women don't have prostates. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Mr. Aircraft Carrier,
this
don't
is
you think
ridiculous.
that what he was saying was more the fact that it's super disrespectful to not call trans women women? Like, isn't that more what he was saying?
Women by their name.
Yeah, that shit
seems
went
to be
like
the
a
way
Boeing, just
you talk to
right
people.
over your head, dude.
You know, just like
whoosh. Like I thought I wasn't listening, but fuck, he was, and he'd still.
Hey, Cheech, go pop some popcorn. Anyway,
yo, I'm waiting for the break.
You might as well go ahead.
So
here's the deal.
Here's the deal. So when you talk about, when we get into something like super straight, the kind of thing that blows my mind is how, it just blows my mind how two participants in this conversation specifically just kind of ignore everything that they're being told. Because when it comes to whether people are able to fall in love
because
or not,
the rest of the room says something, that all of a sudden that person in the room is supposed to capitulate and take a knee, right? What
well,
you
I was about
think?
to say, this kind of stuff
Is
is
that
based on science. So
you don't have to back
when
down.
you
You can
disagree
let
with
it
the
go.
science, that's
Well,
either way,
that's the
still
stance you're taking,
isn't
though,
it?
right? That's the stance you're taking, though, right? Is it because the rest of the room disagrees and you should back down and capitulate, right? When in fact, what you're doing is you're defending Captain A. Jones, who has been the captain of being an asshole, right?
Thank you.
Let's assume for a minute that I'm supposed to take you serious, right? It's obvious at this point that the things, based off of the things that you said, that you believe that aircraft Sparky is of a lower intelligence than you are, right? So because of that, and you believe, shut the fuck up when a man's talking.
Dude, my weed is way better than yours.
No, shut up. Listen,
When a man's
now,
talking.
because of the way that you've came off, what you're doing now would actually be the type of behavior that would be considered bullying, right? And somehow it's supposed to be celebrated, when in fact it's not. All it does is it shows me that you don't have the kind of character of someone that I would want in my community, because all you do is engage in ad hominem attack just for the simple sport of it, as if it's supposed to be something seriously listened to. So this is where, your opinion would become null and void to me, and the fact that you're even saying anything is frankly fucking hilarious, right? I can't wait till the vote comes up and you make your way on out of this fucking room.
You guys are
it's really funny.
I thought leftists were the simple ones that are super triggered all the time. But
it's so clear that your weed is just not anywhere up to the same par as mine, dude. I'm really sorry about that, because you're not chill, bro. And about attacking people, this is called a battle royale, you fucking weasel. What the fuck are you talking about? Jesus Christ. I would never be in your
we gave you all that time on the mic, and that was the most clever thing that you could come up with.
The same thing. I would literally never be in your community.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Give it
here's
to me.
The thing.
By the way,
just because people give you what is laid out in objective reality through things like evidence and science, just because it's not capitulating to it, you kind of have to realize when you're wrong. And in this case, you and aircraft carrier are wrong.
Aircraft carrier.
That's
Jesus.
the thing.
For a sect of the political spectrum that would be wanting to, and I think, accurately so, say that y'all would want to legislate what people can or cannot say, can't seem to get something done on a respect basis, so that it makes it real fucking clear that your want and desire to try to put something into law should definitely not be taken serious, because you can't even do it on a respect level. So why should I, as a taxpayer, be willing to pay for 3 hots and a cot for you because you can't control your own fucking mouth?
Says the
For
guy
a
who
second, the
continues
internet
to
that
interrupt and
complains
then
about
ad
left
hom
is
and then
bitching.
complains about doing that. That's silly, isn't it? Like CTV, you got to look at
Critically
yourself in the
thinking
mirror first
hypocrite.
before you do that kind of thing.
It's the classic CTV strategy. It happens in every like
Hypocritically
you've seen this
thinking veteran.
Good one. Bro, you guys are
Any,
having the like
any more? Any more?
most,
CTV?
yeah, having the most heated argument against the most stoned guy on the panel. Like he's chilled as fuck right now, and you guys are going hard. Me and Kevin, like in the Baja Blast Freeze, have been going in. Even like hardwood like suck, and he's on your side, and he's like, you guys are going like guns blazing against Captain A. Jones. He's barely putting up a defense. He doesn't even give a fuck. Like, so I don't know what this is.
So
Yeah, you're going guns blazing. He's just blazing. Like,
So-
Captain A.
uh,
Jones is living his
that
best life. I love it.
is
Thank you so
that
much.
is the round. Okay. Thank you all. Yeah. So that's the round for now. We are going to begin voting for this is to my audience. You're going to be voting for which one of these individuals gets to stay into the next round and who gets to leave. So I'm going to put a link in chat in just a moment, and you'll be voting for whoever is whoever is most interested, whatever it is, right? Vote for that person to keep them around. All right, so I am going to do this, and okay. So yeah, and okay, this part is important. This part's very important. You'll have 5 minutes on the clock, right? 5 minutes on the clock to actually cast your vote. If you cast your vote afterwards, well, then no one will care. Least of all me. Guaranteed, all right? So, if you want to keep this person alive in the game, right, active, then it's your job to go and vote. It's really that simple. 5 minutes to do it. Okay, I'm going to put this link in the chat, and go ahead and vote right now. 5 minutes on the clock to do it. Hurry up. Okay, and if you're just finding this channel, and you're interested in the content, well, hit that follow button right now. Make sure notifications are on because we do this all the time. Don't want you to miss out on all the things that we do here. So hit that follow button right now. And CTV, just so you know, I'm telling you this right now. So, or later you'll be angry. All right. So, just the method of voting changes in the last round. All right. So you know. Okay.
And how is that method changing too? Just so we're aware ahead of time.
You'll find out. Don't worry. But it's gonna
no secrets.
No,
no
don't
secrets.
worry. You'll find out.
No, if you're going to tell me now, we might as well go ahead and get to it now. Otherwise,
No, we
there's
can't.
No reason for...
we literally can't actually. We can't do that. If I could, I would. But anyway. Yeah, you'll find out. Okay, so there's 5 minutes left on the clock. Everyone, the link is in chat. Go vote right now. Vote this second. And to anyone else, yeah, you guys can continue talking for a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't know that the first topic was on the topics list. I guess it was just like added on like
No,
last minute.
No, it was there.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean,
You go check. It's there.
Well, I think the topic kind of transformed from being about femboys to being about.
He didn't know the femboy
just
topic was there.
happened.
He didn't know the femboy topic was there. He said.
No, the femboy topic was listed,
Yeah.
and you know, like I said, it's a controversy. It's not a thing.
maybe I'm like
That was the
I don't-
topic I least wanted to talk about because I don't know much about femboys, honestly.
Okay, the
Femboys
That's a
topics,
are
funny statement in and
beautiful
of itself.
in their own way.
the topics list I have is hold on, conspiracies, Haitian president assassination, Shakari Richardson.
Hunt, who gave you that? Are you in the group DM?
I
Yeah.
am. I think I'm July 10th. Like that's the
Yeah, it
that's
says
the one
currently
that-
there is discourse going on Twitter with on Femboy. It's right there. It's third one down.
third. Oh,
Oh,
bro, I thought that was a link for the second topic.
okay.
Exposed.
What do you
Chris.
know?
It's okay.
Yep.
Not
Yeah,
a
it's fine.
problem.
Like I was actually want to talk about that anyway, so like that was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like I just didn't do any research on it. We just got to go all out.
Okay, that's fine. But yeah, the link is in. Oh, let me spam that link and chat some more. Everyone, the link is in chat. Vote for one of these individuals who will actually move on to the next round. It's up to you, right? So vote right now, vote right this second. But how are you enjoying this, Sparky? Your first round here?
Oh man, it's fine. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal here. I'm just sitting here having a good time, man. Just doing my thing.
Okay.
I hope we haven't treaded on you too much.
I'm having
Nah,
so
man.
much fun right now. I have to say, every single time I've been on one of these fucking panels, I just have way too much fucking fun dunking on these motherfuckers. So if you want to continue to see that, vote for me, Captain A. Jones. Go on, chat.
I'm a virgin to these sorts of things. So, yes, it's super fun, super exciting, super awesome. And hey, if you want to hear me run my big fat lawyerly mouth some more, vote for me, please. I'm gonna steal Captain Jones's thing. Yeah.
Now, are you actually a lawyer or just identify as one? Have you passed the bar? If so, in what state?
Well, I'm not gonna dox myself on what jurisdictions I passed, but I am indeed an attorney in real
Oh,
life.
okay.
For
So-
realsies.
Okay, because I've seen people on Twitch call themselves lawyers and have failed the bar on multiple occasions, and so you're not really a lawyer until you pass the bar. I mean, that's a
Or
whole
call themselves
professional
captain.
thing.
That's a thing that happens.
True.
Yeah.
Or be an
no.
aircraft and not actually, have wings.
Well,
Yeah,
okay,
you know what's even
so here's
You
the thing. Do y'all want to know where the name came from?
No.
Not really.
Oh, okay. Because it's actually, since I think it was Captain A. Jones was talking about, my labor, my people actually work on the docks and shit like that. I actually work for a living. I'm an aircraft avionics technician.
That wasn't Captain A.
That
Jones.
wasn't me. Sadly,
Oh.
I wish I would have said that to you though, because now I
Uh,
could be able to fight with you. But who said
So
that? Fight with you?
whoever it was, I mean, yeah, I'm actually a working guy, skilled labor, not
Cool,
someone
man.
who pours coffee at Starbucks and pretends
proud
like
of
they
you.
actually have done something to earn anything.
Wait, hold on, hold
Hold
on.
on.
Hey, baristas
Hey,
are.
hey,
Hold on.
Boy.
Whoa.
Wait, wait. So the voting round is over. Hold your fire on that one. Holy shit. Yeah. The voting is over, and at the top, number one is CTV. CTV got the most amount of votes. Let's put him here, all right? Put him ever so much closer to God, right? Yeah, there we go. All right. So good work, CTV. And next, following that, we have Captain A. Jones. Captain A. Jones, number 2. All right. Nice work. Oh, and just for the record, Aircraft Sparky, he came in third. Like that's not surprising. And there you go. All right.
Not really.
And at the bottom, God, I don't understand the crowd. I don't. We have a Hardwood Sock and Baja Blast Freeze, which is just really unfortunate. Because I think, I don't know, whatever. People pick for whatever reason. So, what'll happen now is that one person will be eliminated among the bottom 2. All right. And that'll be up to our top vote getter. That'll be CTV. Okay. So Baja Blast Freeze and Hardwood Sock, you will have to beg CTV to stay onto the next round. So go ahead, Baja. Why should you stay?
All right, so this is my allotted time. I'm not gonna beg this motherfucker. He's come on here to just be an obstruction to actual conversation. I was interrupted like a total of like 4 times, which probably plays a role in my voting. So pretty strategic from him, but pretty cowardly and bitch made. I hate that all these conservatives come on here just to obstruct and just to be like fucking dumb publicly. And now they got their voting bases of their viewers to come here, hit the polls. So, I mean, good that they won this poll. I'm glad they can't do it in real life. See you guys. See you later.
Hardwood Sock.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would have liked to see the conversation be a little bit more productive instead of just falling down, like screaming at each other. And, I think there was just a fundamental disagreement on definitions. If you want to keep me around, I completely understand. If not, I completely understand, and I'm not going to fight it because, I'm over here hacking up a lung when I'm not talking. So.
Okay. Well, CTV, make your decision. You don't even have to DM me. Just let it be known to the world which one of these individuals will not be around. Great. Beautiful. Right. Wow. I see you took your time, all that decision, and
Oh, here we go. Sorry, I was muted in the Discord. I apologize.
no
Now,
problem.
Baja Blast, right? Like, I think we're going to be able to make you spin all the way up tonight and lose your shit. I want to see you here. Hardwood and Sock, I appreciate you being here, man. It was a good conversation. Appreciate your contribution, but watching him spin up and get completely loose as shit, I think it's going to be funny. So,
Hey, no worries, man.
Hardwind Sock, thank you so much for joining us. Let the world know where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me at twitch.tv/hardwindsock. Moderate, conservative, like to have conversations with people I don't agree with. Civil conversations and productive conversations. So check it out. I stream a couple times a week, and you can find me on some of these open panels.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, all right. Have a good one, Hardwind Sock. We'll have you later in the future.
Sounds good.
All right. Which one is next? So let's do. Okay, let's do this topic. All right. So we'll move on to our next topic. Many conspiracies propagate in our culture, and much of the populace tend to ignore them on the day-to-day. A couple of the currently circulate theories are actively harmful, though. Should those espousing and spreading factually incorrect and dangerous theories be punished? If so, how so? Okay, so basically, there's lots of conspiracies out there. We know that, right? Should there be consequences for those who are espousing those theories, right? It's expansive. Like, if there should be consequences, what do you think that should be, right? Should it be legalized? Should it be just social? What are your thoughts on that? All right, 35 minutes left on the clock. Go.
Yes, they should be deplatformed and sued monetarily to have their livelihoods destroyed, especially if they cause major harm, right? We don't need any more, pizza places getting shot up or anything like that. And we don't need any more people trying to blow up 5G towers. It's completely ridiculous. The level of harm that these conspiracy theories lead to is pretty dangerous, even if it's not reaching tons of people. All it takes is one to go out and commit some heinous crime. So yeah, if you're spreading conspiracy theories, whatever social media platform you are on, and you should be able to be sued monetarily, and you should have your livelihood. You should be putting your livelihood at stake if you are going out to be doing these things, saying these things. Yeah.
I don't know. It seems lazy.
Sure.
How so?
Well, I mean, if you if you think that people should lose their livelihoods, I mean, obviously this is going to be done by the government at the point of a gun, right? So, like, reality here is that it's lazy because you would much rather pass a law and then have the government go point a gun at somebody in order to teach them, like, the difference between being able to discern between credible information and not credible information, and use the skills necessary to critically think through, right, the types of information that they have intaking into their life, right? So, like, this whole idea that you should hold the people putting the content out responsible and not the person that is intaking the content and learning to think about how that content may have even been formatted or how it even came to fruition and why it is that it might have the spin on it, or consider any of the different angles or perspectives that one might whenever you're bringing that information in, is lazy to me.
So here's the immediate counterpoint is that in the internet era, like, you don't have to do government force to get someone fucked over for the rest of their life. I'm smoking on the Fentez pack right now because precisely he was deplatformed from entirely online things. The only government intervention, and one that we probably agree on, both of us, is that he was no-fly listed. I think that's probably bad. But for the most part, he definitely got fucked only online. He's allowed to be outside and be a dumb fuck wherever the fuck he wants to be. He was
Yeah, but
outside the
that's just more
CPAC
of an
rooms doing
exercise of
that.
the free market, though, right?
Exactly. And you know what? We incentivize the free
Okay.
marketing move by encouraging these kind of regulations on sites online that will get people that spread it
But
misinformation
regulations
willingly.
specifically
fuck
are
over it.
government, right?
They don't have to be. There can be like internet
Yeah.
regulations. Twitter regulates itself in a certain way that I don't think anyone would disagree is
Okay,
rules
so
and
then
regulations.
would you not agree that in this case, when it comes to Twitter or any other social media platform, that they are acting as part of government, right?
No.
Not the
No.
actual federal. Not
Not at
listen.
all.
That's literally not what that means.
Listen. Right? Government meaning the body that is going to be the one inflicting force, whether it be deplatforming and removing your ability to be on the platform, or in the legal manner in which you can use the word government, right? Because remember, government has more than one meaning, right?
If you're
So
saying
because
that,
of this is where Twitter inside of its own house makes the rules, and Twitter gets to enforce the rules as they see fit, right?
Is your house
Right.
your
Yeah.
government? Are you like the government in your own house? and
Oh, you
tell
better
people to get
fucking
the fuck
believe
out?
I'm the government in my fucking house.
that's
All right,
fine.
so if that's
Like,
true, then
that's what I'm
I
saying.
absolutely agree with you. But that's just not how anybody in the real world will ever use the word government, and that's not what we mean
There's
when we
plenty
talk
of people
about
in the real world that use it the same way, right?
Look,
it's not like
if-
it's an unheard thing
They're
for people to
also
understand.
wrong.
No, if they're governing, look,
No,
I don't
you
care.
have a
if you
perspective that
consider-
disagrees with their perspective. That's the
Uh,
reality.
I don't
If someone
care
tells
you
you the
consider-
sky is
reality
red,
is
do you
that
disagree with their
government is
perspective?
I'm sorry, when y'all
defined
speak at
as
once, it's
something
hard to understand.
civically. It's crazy because okay, CTV government is not when you decide what rules go on in your house. So I think that something that can actually help.
Okay, we'll look up the definition. No worries.
Well, look, I think something that can
No,
easily
we got to
help
go there now.
distinguish
Hold
this-
on, you got to wait. You got to wait till we get there because now
No,
we
no, no,
we
no,
just
no,
have
no,
a
no, no.
fundamental
Let's actually move on.
Oh,
with the
are we going to
conversation
agree that
because we
government
don't
can
need
be
to
used in more than one
filibuster
way?
here,
Then
man. Come
are we
on,
going to
come
agree on
come
that?
on.
Otherwise, I got to look up the definition. What else do you want me to do? I'm trying to be as good faith in this conversation as I possibly can, right? So
doesn't-
either
Obviously
A,
not.
we
Can you
can
just
agree on a
listen?
word means a term, and then yes, that perhaps maybe your perspective to begin with was lacking and be able to understand the multifaceted way this word can be used, right? Or right, I need to look up the definition and then read it to you so that we can all start with a common motherfucking acquaintance with the word, right? So
Do
what
you
do you
think the
want?
student
Why
government
you
is the
don't-
same as the actual
No,
federal
guys,
government?
Don't go down this line, right? Like, if the Twitch
was
leadership is like,
Okay,
just-
I'll look it up. Don't worry.
Twitch leadership is governing the platform. Doesn't mean they're government. That's fine, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't bring any
So
credence
then we
to your
agree.
argument. Yeah,
We
it's like,
agree.
what does that
Okay.
change? This is not the
Right.
law, right? It's
Well, yeah, because the law in this situation.
No, you decide you wanted to pick on that one
the
word
law-
and then
ex-
argue that, and then now we're so far away from that point that, like, frankly, it's kind of hard to remember what it was.
Young
Oh,
man,
don't
you
do
gotta
that.
let the
You
rest
said
of the class
regulations, and you
talk,
said that makes
let's
Twitter
just
the
go on
government,
with
so
this
I don't know.
conversation without turning it into a giant clusterfuck. Okay, so let's go on with this. So I think that the best
I
way
got
to
it.
go about
I got
this thing
The definition
would
of
be that-
government, the body of
Young man,
persons
are you
that
going to continue to
constitutes the
interrupt?
governing
Because I
authority
will kick you
of a
out from the
political unit
class.
or
I'm kidding, of
organization.
course, I don't have that power.
right?
But
So we agree
anyway,
with that then.
what I was trying to
Okay.
say
Pretty
is
sure we agree.
that when we're talking about something such as platforming or deplatforming somebody, platforming someone is not the exercise of government power. The exercise of government power is reserved for state governments and the federal government. That's something that's in the Constitution. That's something that's in the 10th Amendment in terms of state powers. So when we're talking about what the actual issue is, I think that deplatforming people is perfectly acceptable in this situation for private companies to do. As in, if Twitter wants to kick a Nazi off its platform, it can certainly do that. If Facebook
that
wants
person
to get Donald
sue?
Trump off there, that's perfectly fine. That is not an infringement of anyone's First Amendment rights, and it would be ridiculous to say otherwise.
Hold on. So, first of all, can Twitter be sued for calling someone a Nazi? Because libel and slander is a thing, correct, Mr. Lawyer?
That doesn't matter, right? Well,
No, it does
Standards
matter.
for
No, it
arguing
does
No,
matter.
are
because
so
Twitter's not
crazy.
going to outright call someone a Nazi. They're just going to
Yeah,
ban
if
it.
they
It's like
actually-
POS.
Point, my man.
Like, it's
No,
so
it
dumb.
actually isn't a moot point.
It
my
is. Being
guy.
banned on Twitter is not being slandered.
No.
Yeah,
If they
I
were
mean,
to
look,
ban someone
Twitter
for
didn't.
Nazi,
Twitter didn't come to
They don't
life
say
one
why
day
they
and
banned
be
you.
like, "Hey, you're a
Well,
Nazi.
what if
Get off
Twitter
our
decided that it
platform."
wanted to
That's not
kick all
what
communists
happened.
off the platform? Would you be okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Break
as long
TOA.
as you're being philosophically consistent, right? If you
There's
have
no
no problem
gotcha
with them
here. There's
removing
no gotcha
both
here.
Nazis and
I'm not playing the
communists,
gotcha
Well,
game.
right?
I
If
was
they
about
wanted
to
to take
say,
all
the
communists
thing
off the
about Nick
platform, then
Fuentes
you're
is
okay
that
with
he
that,
was
then okay.
violating terms of service. That's kind of a different thing than just being like, "Hey, you're a Nazi, get off." Because
Yeah, see,
when we're talking about the
that's what I don't care
proliferation of conspiracy theories, the problem is that conspiracy theories are allowed to, basically just be spread throughout the platform. So that's because that activates Twitter's algorithm. They want to keep you hooked in, they want to keep you invested in the content that's being pushed on there. So conspiracy theories make that stuff happen.
So
I
here's
think
the
it's the
deal.
responsibility of the social platforms.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Should anyone who propagated Russiagate be arrested for harmful misinformation?
No,
Now,
because
when you
Yes
say-
or no? Yes or
When
no?
you say- well,
Yes
I
or
gotta
no?
know what you mean by Russiagate. Do you mean
Russiagate,
the
if
actual
anything-
investigation into
If
Donald
anything
Yes,
Trump?
that's
talking
exactly what
about
he means.
Russia had something
No.
to do with the election, should
Don't
they
explain it. We all know what it is. It just happened, dude.
Yeah.
No. I just answered no. Now go on with your.
I
Okay,
don't know why.
so why should anyone else be arrested now? Look, if
arrest?
people
Who brought up being
Wait,
arrested?
that's
Uh,
because
it's
that was an
actually-
actual.
what are they
That's because. Can I answer?
should they be punished?
Can I
or
answer?
anything like
Hold
that?
on. That's because that was an actual investigation that happened. Like
Yeah.
that
An actual
a real
conviction
thing
behind
that
it.
hundreds of thousands, like not hundreds of thousands, hundreds, maybe thousands of people worked on. Like it was a real thing that happened. So
Yes, and it was
propagating
actually
it. You're
all
not propagating it. It's a
misinformation.
real thing.
It was actually all
Propagating something is like
misinformation.
propagating. Hold on, dude. I'm trying to answer your question, man. Look, propagating something is like Pizzagate. There's no real evidence. It's just a bunch of like conspiracy theories.
Well, it turns
And
out there was no
that
real evidence for
got-
Russiagate as well.
That's
Wait,
not
I'm
the
sorry.
case with
I'm
Russia.
sorry.
Like, it's not
There
the
Again,
case at
this
all.
tape was
So
was
again, I'm just
non-existent.
gonna have to break it down for you. I get it. One was an actual government investigation by the FBI, and the other is literal lies made up by conspiracy theories based on basically zero evidence, as they might put it. Do you not see the two? Do you not see how these two things are inherently different?
I think conspiracy theories are conspiracy theories, plain and simple.
So,
it doesn't
so you
matter
think the
That's such a
if the government
non-answer.
legitimizes it or not. What actually matters is the fact that these conspiracies are traditionally misinformation, just like Micaiah Bryant was unarmed.
So wait,
that-
hold
That
on.
was
So you
something that
think? Hold on.
was put out immediately, and it was a lie. It was
So you think
misinformation.
the FBI is engaged in conspiracy theories? Is that what you're trying to say?
I think the media was.
Well, that was the
Pushing
FBI.
forward.
It was
Media
an
didn't do
FBI
this
investigation.
investigation. It was
I'm not
Oh
about
no,
the media, I'm
they
asking about the FBI.
investigated. They investigated the conspiracy, the conspiracy theory. They actually investigated
They
it,
arrested
but
quite
it
a
was
few
you're
people.
accusing them.
but it was the media.
Hold
that
on,
was
dude. Don't
actually
backtrack away
propagating.
from your fucking Russiagate now, man. You're accusing. You know
How the
damn well
fuck
what the
am
fuck
I
that
backing
conspiracy
things
theory
up?
is. You're accusing.
My God, how stoned
Shut-
are you, dude?
Shut up.
the fuck
Everyone
up
knows
and
the
make a
goddamn
goddamn
conspiracy
sandwich,
theory.
dude.
Don't back away
Listen.
from it.
Clean the fucking wax and come out of your ear and listen.
This guy's
For
horny.
Christ's
What
It
the
sake.
sounds like
fuck?
I'm having
No.
a good time over here. All right.
Oh yeah,
I
man,
was
dude.
about to say, holy shit.
I
Well, there
just
is
what do you
something about
stick-
Mary.
Aircraft, what do you stick in your ears, man? Come on.
Mary Jane, that is.
I'm just sitting there. Look, you want to talk loud? I can get loud. I talk over jet engines for a fucking living. So talking over some stoner isn't going to be anything for me. Okay.
Well,
It's
instead of
not.
talking over him, address the points.
I'm
maybe.
literally
You said the
trying to
FBI
I was
was
actually
engaging in
right now.
conspiracy.
When you start screaming, you're not actually answering the question.
You're not.
Shut
You're
the
not?
fuck up.
So is the FBI engaged in conspiracy theory?
The
It's a really
FBI.
simple question. Honestly, you should just be saying yes right now. I answered no to your fucking question. Why can't you be good faith?
Yeah, just own the position at this point.
Yeah,
You might
own
as
the
well.
fucking
You're going
position.
down the like
you
logic
goddamn
lines.
coward. Just
do
like
it.
fucking calling trans women fucking women. It's a fucking
Trans women
goddamn
are
dude.
men.
Own the fucking position.
I'll go ahead and just I'll even go one further. Trans women are men, but
We knew you thought
FBI,
that. Was
the
That's a
sorry.
absurd
FBI.
virtue statement.
No, I don't
I'm
think
glad
that. I
that you
know
said that.
It's
It
true.
shows your colors.
Um,
Thank you.
Okay, whatever. The whole deal is it is like this. Okay, the FBI investigates many conspiracy theories, and they have actually been shown to help push some things into the media that have been less than true. Now, are they actually propagating? Are they actually creating all these things? No.
Well, you
But
just
they
said they're
will-
pushing it into the media. How does that not count
They
as
will push
propagation? I'm
things in the
confused.
media because all it is framing, guy. You do
So if they
understand how
put something
framing
into the
works, right?
media that you acknowledge as a conspiracy theory, that's not propagating the idea. That's what you're telling me?
No. I could say all kinds of things that someone would go, oh, well, there's some validity to that. Just like, let's see, Syria more than likely did not.
You're getting off
draw-
topic. I want to go
Hold
back for a
on,
sec.
hold
You
on,
said the
no,
FBI is pushing false narratives in the media. You just said it. You're alerting us, the people. So if that is happening, they are pushing conspiracy theories. Can you please corroborate that?
Oh, please don't.
Oh.
Actually, God, no, I don't. I don't
Stop
actually
looking-
want to hear your
he's doing,
fucking
like, the
evidence.
dumb face. He's doing the dumb
Evidence.
face. Just explain.
Oh God,
Just say
yeah,
yes.
actually, yeah. Please go get your fucking links so that you can put them out. It'd take like 40 minutes to find them. Yada yada.
You
Yeah,
do
used to be a
realize
conspiracy
I
theorist. I know how
didn't-
this works.
No, guy, see, I didn't make a claim. You claimed I did.
You said Russia.
No, you made a claim.
Russiagate
explicitly.
No, I
is
talked
a
about Russiagate,
conspiracy
which
theory.
was a fucking conspiracy theory.
Wait,
That was
wait.
investigated by the FBI. Thus, they're
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
alleging
just
conspiracy.
because the FBI
Hold on.
investigated it doesn't make it less of a conspiracy theory. Should the people who propagated Russiagate, should the entire Clinton, should the Clinton election
Here we
committee,
go.
should
This
they be
is-
arrested
No,
for
no.
propagating Russiagate? Because that was conspiracy theory. That was actually we had to waste government money. We had to waste taxpayer money to investigate piss tapes and a made-up dossier paid for by a freaking election committee, spend millions of dollars, waste time questioning the least secure election in the history, unlike the 2020, which we all know is the most secure election in history. Why are we going to waste all this tax money on a conspiracy theory? Because it was pushed forward and it was misinformation. So I simply ask, should someone be arrested for pushing forward conspiracy theory? You said no. I'm glad. Should they be punished? No. Bad ideas should be heard. That way they can be refuted.
If
You
they
allow
were
the
the case,
stupid
you wouldn't
things
say
to go out.
That's not true. If the bad ideas were going to be refuted so easily, you wouldn't have so many of them. Also, the whole Russia investigation thing didn't come out of the media. It came out of the FBI and U.S. intelligence, right? They put that information out there first. Then that's when the media latched on. So hold on.
So you are saying that the FBI is engaged in conspiracy.
I
No,
never called it
you
a
are saying
conspiracy. You are saying
Well,
that.
no,
I
he's,
never
Russia
called
he's
it.
was
dodging
a
around it.
conspiracy.
He's dodging around it.
I know,
No,
he's
not very
literally walking
skillfully.
around the point as if like anybody cannot see this. Like this is actually fucking insane. Own the position.
Like,
you
on
said
also-
Russiagate's a conspiracy. You said the FBI is now investigating said conspiracy. They're putting out information into the media. How is that not propagating a
Yeah.
conspiracy under your own terms?
Exactly.
Like, in
and at
what
least
way?
when I believed that 9/11 was an inside job, I don't anymore. But at least when I fucking believed that, I backed my goddamn position up and I said that Bush did it. Okay. I was that stupid. So please at least be stupid with me. You know what I mean? Like,
The fact that you thought that Bush could pull that off is kind of
I
what would
know,
put me.
I know,
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
fucking
you're giving him
hilarious,
way
right?
too much credit.
I
Like,
agree.
at
Maybe,
least
not
whenever
Bush.
I went to the level of conspiracy, like I believe there was like some, 4 or 5 people in the whole world that was propagating these things, and
I
they're
know,
just
I
such
thought
a
it was
super
like-
secret squirrel network, right? And then but to give Bush all that credit, give me a break.
nah,
Like
it's
if you
like
believe
Trilateral
that,
Commission, George
Man.
Soros. We didn't say it, but Jews. It's like you blame.
Whoa,
Wow.
whoa.
wow.
Don't,
Whoa.
Jones, don't get
Whoa.
caught up.
Fucking
Sparky's
stop.
looking for an
Come
exit.
on,
You see him?
come on.
Hey,
Let's
hey,
not do the
hey.
fake outrage.
No,
we know
no.
that was meant in jest. Come on.
Wow.
No.
Don't do as many reasons the way you
No,
know.
fuck you,
Well,
you're
the
fucking
left
trying to-
again, right?
Shut
No,
the
this
fuck
is
up.
go hard
this
on
happens
this
a
thing.
lot on the left, right? Where you
Oh,
just
my
like
boy.
you say, "Oh, it was
Humanity
supposed to be
shit.
for me."
My
Give me a
goodness.
fucking break.
All right. Okay.
Jesus Christ,
Great.
they're
To you
taking-
Sure.
being goobers.
Sure.
I
We
object.
hear the rage. We hear the rage. Let's get back to the topic at hand, though.
Look,
Yes, please. I was actually going to make a point off that before I
Please,
got
y'all just ain't
the-
funny.
before the conservatives got outraged. So look, I'm just saying you gotta stick to your positions, dude. Like say that the FBI, you're not gonna get indicted for it. Nobody's gonna come to your house and fucking storm you. It's totally illegal to say that the FBI,
Why would
in
you
your
even, like,
opinion, was
insinuate that?
engaged in
That's amazing.
conspiracy theories.
Dude, I
That's
thought
totally
left was
okay
the
for you to
empathetic
say.
side.
And I
Wow.
agree with you. Hold on. Stop cutting me off because I actually agree with you that we should have a marketplace of free and open ideas
Nazis.
and be able to refute these bad fucking ideas in the open. I agree with that. But I'm just saying, can you at least own your fucking positions? Because it makes it really hard when you're weaseling around it, dude. Like it just makes it hard. And
Like you, right?
don't tread on
Weaseling
me.
around, White. Just weaseling around, White.
Well,
Huh?
maybe
Why
I
don't you
feel
go ahead
like
and
a
call me the
snake,
K
like in
word?
your
Why
background.
don't you go ahead and call me the K word, you fucking anti-Semitic? Ugh.
Look at this
Dude,
fucking.
I'm-
This dude is
Oh
like
my
running out of
goodness.
the corner.
fake
He's so
outrage is
scared.
actually
Yes.
hilarious. The
He
fake
just owned the
outrage is
position.
actually hilarious. If you think that I was being anti-Semitic, you're a fucking
I
idiot.
hope everybody in the chat can see this. This is the definition of weaseling.
Yeah,
This is
the
just
fake
like
the
running
fake
around.
outrage
Were
is
you trying
actually
to
hilarious. I'm not even gonna pull the card that my fucking dad on my dad's side of the family, my fucking whole family survived the Holocaust. I'm not even gonna pull that. Oh wait, fuck! I just
Whatever,
did.
dude.
God damn it! I wasn't
Whatever,
gonna pull it. Fuck.
Nah.
Fuck you, you stupid fuck. Go
Okay.
fuck yourself.
Okay,
Captain
all right,
Jones,
okay.
look what you did.
All right, okay. Chris, you want to say something? And then I'm. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, I was just like gonna repeat what Captain A. Jones is saying. Like, say, like, if you want to say yes, the FBI under the Trump administration was pushing out conspiracy theories, please say that. I would love for you to do that. We can, like, that way we can engage with that. You know what I mean? But instead, right, you're just weaseling with your way around it. You're trying to push it off to the media, then start the investigation.
Weaseling,
Like I
rat,
said before.
just ratting, just rat
Like,
thinking. Yeah, gotcha, man. Bye.
yeah, like, so, like, say something, like, just like put it out there.
Because one of
Was the
conservatives
FBI
been so
settling
soft.
conspiracy theories?
No, dude.
Did they
This,
arrest
no.
people on
Fuck
conspiracy?
you. Fuck you. Okay, look, this isn't fake outrage.
This is so
This
fake.
isn't fake outrage.
Shut the fuck
Fuck off.
up. You're such a little coward, dude. You can't own shit.
Come on, dude.
Shut
Let
the
me get
fuck
this
up.
Are you
straight.
actually
I was
making
making a
a
joke
Let
about
me
how
get this straight, right?
conspiracy
So you
theorists.
keep
Hold
asking
on.
the man
Hey,
a
shut
question,
the
and then
fuck up,
whenever he goes
TTV.
to answer,
Hey,
that
shut
you
up.
just
I'm
decide
actually
that you're
trying
just
to. I'm
going
trying
to
to defend
interrupt
myself
him,
over
right?
here.
So then, like, why in the
boy.
fuck are we even entertaining this idea that you're just going to allow him to be able to answer the question, right? I'm not going to entertain it anymore. The reason why Prime isn't saying anything is because he saw exactly the same thing I'm saying. So if you're going to ask the man a question, shut the fuck up and let the man answer the question, right?
It's 5
Thank you.
times, man. He won't answer
You've added so
honestly.
much
That doesn't
CCD
mean
per
start
usual.
talking. That means shut the
You've
fuck up
added
Oh,
so
and
boy.
let
much per
Sparky
usual.
answer the question.
I really do want to move past this point, but
Yeah, let's just move
Sparky.
past because I'm no.
No. You can answer the question.
I am.
You can answer the question.
I don't.
and
I don't know.
If I want,
I am
if
so
you want,
over
I can
this
literally
topic
mute.
right now.
I can
I
literally
am
mute.
so over this topic
Sparky,
right
hold on,
now
hold on, Sparky,
because
Sparky.
I might as well just
Sparky,
talk.
I can literally server mute everyone so that you can have the opportunity to answer this in its fullest, right? Would you like me to do that? I will do that for you.
No, I don't want anyone silenced.
Okay.
God damn, I'm principled.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Well.
This is like another day in court for me.
Bro, you just
I'm
checked
sure it
that
is.
one. He
I
got
guess he
clean
wasn't
from
that outraged.
Typically on the
about
losing
it.
side. Got it.
No,
I guess all that outrage was fake as fuck.
Yeah.
hold
the
on.
day.
Hold
Oh,
on.
there we go. I got him. I baited him, guys. Let's go.
Okay, so here's the deal.
Got him.
In 1995, I raised my right hand and I actually gave an oath to uphold and defend certain things. And so yeah, things that I don't agree with, I actually think that they need to be said and they can be said. And even though, look, offense cannot be given, but it damn sure can be taken. You know what? I fell for that bait. Good job, dude. You basically called me the Jewish N-word. Fuck off. Who cares? So at this point,
Did you
At
even do
this
what
point,
I
no, I
said?
am
to get out of this. Let's just
So
go.
I would like you to
feel
hold
bad
on.
for
I would
Sparky.
like you
Let's
to
go.
repeat to me
no.
what you think I said, and then I'll correct you as to
no.
what I actually
I'm
said.
not going down. I'm not going down this road anymore.
Oh my God!
Okay.
You're not going down the road of
All right.
facts and like looking
Captain
at a
Jones, let
bond.
him go.
We
Sparky
can-
is sweating.
it's fine.
Let him go.
Get the
It's
bond.
fine,
Actually,
it's
no. I
fine.
want
It's-
fucking evidence of this. If I'm gonna
Okay.
be fucking
All
accused of
right.
being
Oh, boy.
anti-Semitic,
All right,
give me
dude.
fucking
You
evidence.
are
You little fucking piece of
anti-Semite, you
shit.
fucking cunt.
Okay.
Coward fuck.
Okay.
Go back at the body, you fucking coward.
Okay.
There's between you and me is I'll go
Hey,
somewhere.
okay, I can
God
meet
damn.
both. I can meet both. And we can
Please
move
do.
on.
All
All
right.
right, so
Move
knock
on.
it off. Great. We've got it. Thanks. All right. With our remaining time, we have 13 minutes left on the clock. All right, we can go back to the subject. So, conspiracy theorists, right? Like, what should be done about them? Like, if they are spreading, like, first of all, can we understand that conspiracy theorists can do harm? Can we agree on that much at least?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
They can do harm. Yes.
Okay. You two see TV?
I'm sorry, I was spaced out listening to Tetris music. What were you saying?
Okay, I'm gonna give you that one. That was good. All right, so
A man of taste.
yeah, it's a good choice. Our conspiracy theorists, can we agree that they can actually do harm?
Yep.
No,
No.
no, people have to give those things an action. The idea itself is just the idea.
Well,
That's
here's the
actually
thing,
a good
though.
point.
In terms,
So fascism isn't harmful because like it's just like words on a paper or like an idea in a person's head and not like that like is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, this exact same line of thought would be like the idea versus like the tool, which is the gun, right? Without the human being to actually give it a purpose or to give it action, right? It's nothing on its own.
Okay, all right, fine. Then
The
I'll
human
alter,
being is
I'll alter the question then. Fine. So can we agree that conspiracy theories spreading their harmful ideas can lead to harmful actions?
Yes, we can agree on that.
Okay.
absolutely.
That puts the human element back into the question.
All right. Fair enough. Sure.
But the idea itself didn't do anything.
although I say that spreading conspiracy theories is an action, but
Well,
But
so I think that each thing has to be taken at its face value. Like 9/11 inside job didn't. I don't think I've ever heard of a death caused by a 9/11 truther going out and like killing an ATC, an air traffic control tower person that they thought was in on it or something like that. Whereas like something like QAnon or like Pizzagate, as I referenced earlier, has led to real actual violence and deaths. So I think like we do have to take these on really like an individual level. Like again, like aliens. I think you're totally okay to believe in aliens. Like that's not you're not harming anybody by believing in aliens, But you might be definitely harming people if you're participating in like election lies. For instance, you're riling your friends up that the election was stolen when it absolutely was fucking not. These are things that you do have at least some type of social responsibility, and I think sometimes, yeah, like if you're the publisher of some article that is just flat out fucking lies, maybe we should be holding these people accountable for defamation. And I think that they do in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
For instance, with
because-
Alex Jones and the Sandy Hook thing. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to piggyback off of that. So there's a clear difference between, just like with what Captain Jones said with defamation, there's a clear difference between just regular old speech protected under the First Amendment and harmful speech, something that can lead to criminal action, which is not protected by the First Amendment. So things like defamation. So something that I want to bring some attention to, I think, is let's look at early 1900s Germany in the Weimar Republic. So before the Nazis ever came about, there was actually a huge gay community, LGBT community, I should say, in Berlin. There was actually a thriving culture there. Magnus Hirschfeld was one of the pioneering gay rights activists of that time. But there was an underlying belief or conspiracy that the LGBT community was, was basically, they were bringing forth the downfall of society. They were, basically destroying everything, along with beliefs about Jewish people in Germany at the same time. So the problem is that these conspiracies later manifested themselves into action, and we saw what happened with that. I don't think I need to tell anyone here what happened, and this was the conspiracy theory of cultural Bolshevism, like what we're seeing nowadays with cultural Marxism. So the problem is not simply that conspiracy theories exist, because as Captain Jones said, there can be some pretty innocuous ones, like aliens putting probes up my butt, but Instead,
You mean
you have
fun
conspiracy.
ones? Fun conspiracy theories. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Conspiracy theories that show me a very good time. But, there are conspiracy theories that
It's weird when you
actually
do it, bro.
do harm people. And that's the distinction we need to make. So what do we actually do about that? Because some people have suggested that government action should be taken. Well, we already know from laws such as the Espionage Act of 1917, the Sedition Act of 1918, and the Patriot Act that, if you start scanning every single American, for potential criminal actions, that's going to take away people's rights. Now, I think that criminal action should be taken against people who actually act out on these dangerous conspiracy theories, but I also think that we should hold platforms responsible for letting them proliferate, because again, there's a clear difference between being probed in the butt by aliens and following a conspiracy theory that leads up to a pizza parlor being shot up, or say the January 6th insurrection. There's a clear difference there, and I think the platform should be held legally
it's kind of
liable for that.
correlative, though, right? It's kind of correlative because one, you said insurrection, and then the other one have an erection, right? So it's kind of close, right? It's kind of close.
Well,
But,
see, I would say that.
I got you, CTV. I got you, bro.
That was the most
Oh my
constructive thing
God.
y'all
Oh,
did.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
he's
was
just like,
I was
what?
just doing the sound effects. I'm just the sound effects guy. I'm sorry.
See, erections are fun, but insurrections led to actual people dying. So, just to cap off my point, I do think that, like how tobacco manufacturers were held liable for, selling a product that they knew was dangerous, I think that platforms like Twitter or Facebook, especially Facebook, should probably be held civilly liable or even criminally liable for the results of what they allowed to proliferate on the platforms. It's that easy.
Okay,
Yeah, and
so
I think that's why they're taking action early to kick these things off before lawmakers who are notoriously very behind the curve on these kind of things.
Oh, yeah.
Before they actually maybe in the next 5 or 10 fucking years actually get off their fucking asses and legislate this shit. But I think that these companies, Twitter, Facebook, yada yada, they are taking preemptive action to void any of that. They're saying, you know what, we're getting the crazies off our fucking platform. You'll notice they still allow aliens and shit like that. It's just the dangerous stuff that they're getting rid of. And deplatforming dangerous ideas is good because those ideas shouldn't have a platform. You should be able to go on some obscure fucking website and look at all that bullshit all you want, but not on a public platform like Twitter or Facebook.
So you're saying that Twitter and Facebook and all these others should actually be held, maybe not criminally, but civilly, at least civilly responsible, correct?
That's what I said at
Yeah.
the beginning.
Okay. So now I would argue probably not criminal because they didn't actually perform anything that harmed anyone. Speech does not harm anyone. In general, it doesn't kill anyone. Actions of man do. Would you agree?
So I kind of want
No,
to
I
pivot
can't
a
agree
little
with
bit
that
on
at
that. Well, because I think I kind of want to stand a little bit of a point I think you're probably not making, but a point that I'm going to make off of that, which is these companies are faster to react to these things than our own government is. It's really fucked up. And as much as I would love the government to be faster reacting to conspiracy theories propagating and spreading online, causing, and literally the shit was fucking known months in advance. As much as I want that, these tech companies are actually doing a fucking better job than our government, sadly, but that's just the truth.
Why is that
like-
sadly?
Why is that
sadly?
even?
Well, because I would
Why is this-
I would like the government to be faster at doing their job.
What do you think the purpose of government is?
To
Even if you
legislate
think the
stuff.
government is bad, CTV, I hope you would agree that if they were to function well in things, they would probably be able to do it efficiently and fastly. I hope that's a baseline that we can agree on.
Well, I would love for
No,
us
I
to
think
go
that,
down this
I-
logic
I-
tree.
I think that if we're going to have a conversation about government, we're going to have to get to what you fundamentally think government is actually there to do.
I would love to
right?
do it.
Because
Legislate stuff. I'm answering your
Well,
question.
yeah.
right.
I
So
was
then
about
what-
to say, CTV, the whole purpose of government as stated in the 10th Amendment for states and the main constitution for the federal government, is to legislate and actually govern people in a way where they use their police powers to benefit people.
Geez, you
You
like
know, and
reference like
protect
3
their
different
health, their
levels of
safety, and
government,
whatnot.
like all in one. Like you're already conflating the terms so hard, it's going to be hard for anybody to be able to follow any kind of rational thought because you went federal, state, and local, like real fucking quick, right? So pick like a level and then let's go from there.
Let's not. Let's just stay
Yeah,
like a little obscure about it because honestly, it's a little boring. I mean, I'll answer your questions honestly. We could go down the rabbit hole and it could be like, oh, look, I think that government should do this. And then you're going to be like, well, I think that government should do that. And then we're all going to be like, well, fuck you, actually. Your opinion's wrong. And I don't know. We can do that already.
I
let's
think
just get past all that.
Yeah,
I
I
know
was
it.
about to say, like, government is a pretty
Hold on,
simple concept to get figured out.
I do want to.
I'll shut up.
No, that's no problem. I just want to focus on one thing. Sparky, you said that the only thing that matters are actions, right? But like, we can understand that words inspire actions, right? Like that's why you.
Yes, words can inspire actions, but the
Okay.
words themselves. Look, we can always point to things like shouting fire in a crowded room or something like a call to arms, right? And that is instances where you will actually have some kind of criminal liability. But something as stupid as telling a bad story that someone believes.
If I actively say if there's someone next to me and they have gasoline and they have matches, right? And I say to them, just say, hey, maybe you should burn down that orphanage. Am I not at all responsible? Because I just said words, right? And then they executed those words.
Shit.
Well, see, now you're talking about a legal thing that, honestly, in a way, I'm a little unqualified to speak on. Just tell you because I don't know. I don't
answer it morally.
Where we all are.
Morally, no.
Eminem and Dre were not found out, right? We are, remember, forgot about Dre. They were not found out. Okay.
Yeah.
This is how he wins. By fucking nonsense.
That was a good one. I like that one, CTV.
When it comes down to it, when you look at everything, the majority of things that are said in public discourse does not actually cause people to do something. Someone, what happens if it does? You're talking about an actual incite. What would be like? I believe the legal definition of incitement is. So yes, there is some criminal culpability there.
Okay.
But when you're talking about someone standing on the side of the corner in your little normal town in America, and we need to burn down the Capitol and blah, 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 and all the other crazy stuff you hear on the side of the road by activists, should they be held liable? No.
Let's steel man that
That
point
is
a
just
little bit.
simple conjecture.
But the pizza
You're gonna give the worst version of that example. You're gonna give the worst version of a person on the road standing and trying to like falsely incite like a riot. That's not what happened in real life.
So the focus. The Pizzagate scandal. The Pizzagate scandal. There was a conspiracy theory, right? We can all agree. Can you agree on that,
Yep.
Sparky?
Yeah.
Okay, great. But that inspired a person to go into that pizzeria with a assault rifle and look for kids they thought were being sexually abused in a basement that didn't actually exist. So,
yes.
So
do you believe everything you read on the internet?
Okay, but it caused actual harm, correct? Right?
No, the person actually pulling the trigger caused actual harm. The words themselves did nothing. It might have inspired the individual, but no.
May I clarify with a little bit of First Amendment knowledge?
Very, very, very quickly, like seconds. Go ahead.
Well, yeah. I'll summarize. Basically, the Supreme Court has recognized that the First Amendment does not extend to things that can be seen as criminal conduct, and one of those things is inciting violence. One of those things is using your speech to create a clear and present danger that someone is going to get hurt.
Okay,
so in this respect, that is something where if you spread a conspiracy theory and that causes somebody to hurt someone, then that could be criminal conduct and not protected speech.
Should everyone who retweeted Pizzagate be arrested?
Absolutely not.
Okay, you just answered your question. You just answered your question.
Hold on, that's the round. That's the round, everyone. Okay. Oh boy. Whatever.
Don't worry, I'll wait for you, Prime.
Yeah. So thank you all for that. Fuck, I gotta do something. But yeah, I don't know. This one kind of went off. It's difficult when you guys like don't focus in on the topic then, because we can't actually dig into it. Like so, like maybe
Whose
like
fault is that?
Yeah.
We got people who don't want to answer questions, and people who just interject with nonsense to throw everyone off.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm pointing at TTV. It's his fault. I was pointing.
It's always the most attractive man's in the room's fault. I know this.
Ooh, you got me there.
And it's only because I command your attention. That's all it is.
That's true too.
That's indeed the case. But yeah, so like let's try to focus on the next few topics. If we can, just like focus in on like what's actually being said, so we can have a more productive discussion rather than yelling, go fuck yourself. Maybe let's try that. I don't know. We'll see.
Prime, I'm just too distracted by those beautiful eyes.
Good point. Okay, so I'm gonna put a link in chat and to my audience. Remember, this is your time to vote, right? If you like someone here and you want to see them continue on into the next round, then vote for them. If you don't like a person, then don't vote for them. It's really that simple, right? But you'll have to vote within the time frame of 5 minutes. It's really that simple. But people seem to get confused every time I do it. I don't know why. But okay. So this link is coming in chat right now. 1 second. And 5 minutes left on the clock. 5 minutes left on the clock. Go ahead. Vote right this second. All right, 5 minutes left on the clock. Vote right now. Okay. And if you're just finding this content, if you're just finding this channel, please hit that follow button right now. We do this all the time. Have conversations, not the game show part, but like you have conversations like this all the time. So if you're enjoying this, hit that follow button. Make sure notifications are on, so you know I'm going live. I do it all the time. Okay. So we can, you guys can talk for 5 more minutes.
Yeah, this is.
What even was the original topic?
Well, I answered it at the beginning. I thought everybody's going to give their answer. Well, like, yeah, we're discussing whether or not, what should we do with people with conspiracy who put out conspiracy theories, right? Should we do anything at all? Should there be punishment for it? And what is that punishment?
Yeah.
So far, I gave my take. I said they should be deplatformed and they should be sued civilly, so to lose some type of lose monetarily, right? They should lose their livelihoods. If they are making a living spreading these conspiracies, they should lose that completely.
Totally agree with that, but I think that it gets a little more nuanced with we're not trying to deplatform somebody who retweets a Pizzagate conspiracy.
Yeah,
that's not necessarily the person who is causing the harm. They are causing a tiny bit of harm, especially if they have some followers, then they're causing a little bit of harm. But that's not really the person we're talking about. We're talking about the person, like you said. We're talking about the person who's making money off of this shit. The Alex Joneses, the Nick Fuenteses, and the rest of them. We all unfortunately know their names. So we do have to. These are really. I think these are individualized cases. We cannot just paint with a broad brush. And I have a lot of sympathy towards people who believe the wrong thing. And I do believe that with enough cajoling and loving playfulness, when I call you an idiot, I do it with love. Okay.
It's all that hippie weed. It's all that
weed. I am incapable of hatred. You don't understand. It's actually just not, I'm not capable of it. So I believe we can win the war of rhetoric, y'all, even though they've definitely been winning up until now. We got to do better.
I think it helps if Twitter keeps the thing that they did regarding COVID and the election, where it's like, if you try to retweet an article, it should prompt you at least to actually read the fucking article. I think those are little things that we can do that aren't full on fucking punishment that should actually have an impact. Maybe. I mean, I have to look at the data, but shit like that should just be the standard on most websites. If you're gonna be posting a bunch of shit and just posting links, maybe you should have to actually be prompted to maybe read them first.
So, okay. One thing I really wanted to to ask is, should people be held accountable for when they're doing things for like actually organizing events that actually brings up violence?
Oh boy, I know where you're going with this. Everyone, vote right now. The link is in chat. Vote right this second. Hurry up. Running out of time. Vote right now.
You know,
Go ahead.
I actually I would still say no. Words don't make people do things. People actually do that themselves. I can't blame words. Oh, this person said this, therefore I did that. No. Someone physically made that decision in their head, and then their brain told their muscles to make the movements happen.
Look, we cannot.
I
We have
believe
to
in
stop.
individual responsibility.
No, we have to stop acting
Equilibrium.
like speech isn't one of the most powerful things we have in our like tool set, right? People have been using speech to cause massive harms for like ages and ages, right?
Yeah.
If it weren't that wasn't the
equilibrium.
case, no, if that wasn't the case, like religious organizations that wouldn't have been able to spread like the harm against LGBT community that they were able to spread and have it
equilibrium.
last for so long, right? This has been lasting forever, even though there's a part of me like,
equilibrium
it wasn't such a big deal as it is now, right? Speech causes like massive harm, complete chaos, and
But
it is
equilibrium.
definitely an action, right? When you speak, you are taking an action. What you do with that action, right?
Yeah,
Matters.
but equilibrium.
Yeah, sure, CBTV. We hear you.
Do you know what I'm referencing?
The movie?
What about the drug war?
Yeah, I'm referencing the movie Equilibrium, right? Like if you don't teach people how to think and to work their way through different perspectives and persuasions and all these things, right? And also to be able to deal with their emotions, right? Because that's ultimately what is going to be one of the driving factors to action, right? Is how strongly you feel about something, right? Like if you feel pretty strongly about it, right? You got the gears turning just right. Well, the next thing you know, you might be doing a little something that you weren't planning on before all of that passion got enthralled, right? That being said,
okay.
I'm going to be honest.
Equilibrium.
I thought that the point of the Equilibrium movie was
It's
that
opposite.
drugs are going to get fucking hella good in the future. Oh my god.
No.
No,
The point was, right, is that suppressing the human emotion, right, it allowed for the action to be taken away because in the movie, right, they started getting rid of all the things that invoked human emotion, right, like paintings and music and all this stuff was censored and banned, and they burned all of it, and then like everybody committed to Prosium, which was the drug that everybody was taking, right, and anybody that stopped their dose of Prosium ended up, right, with a sense offense, and they'd be incinerated, right, by the courts because they were feeling emotion, right? So that's where like they were able to think about all of these different ideas and understand them, and then while at the same time basically living underneath a fascist regime, right, and doing it cohabitatingly awesome, right, as long as you were taking the dose. If you weren't taking the dose, and guess what, you started seeing that like all the shit that was going on around you was completely fucked.
I'm hungry.
Right?
This has nothing to do with
Completely
it.
fucked.
Okay, all right. So the voting round is over, but like I took my time because I was enjoying CTV's recap of Equilibrium. It was a good movie. I actually enjoyed it. Actually,
I really liked it too.
Yeah, it was actually a good movie. Hold on. Is Equilibrium the one I'm thinking of with the
Christian
gun
Bale.
fu? Yeah, the gun fu, right?
Yeah, the gun kata.
That shit was
Yeah, the
before the
gun
Matrix,
kata.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good. Oh man, I actually really like that one. I feel like watching it again now. It was good.
actually
Okay, so back to this. All right, at the top once again, CTV. All right, stands uncontested, but actually just barely, like just barely. The difference between number 1 and number 3 is just 2 votes. So, all right,
Wow.
it is the way it is. And if you guys don't like that, then you should have voted. I don't know. There's lots of complaints, but not a lot of voting, so I don't have to tell you. Next is Aircraft Sparky, right there, number 2. Okay, followed by Captain A. Jones. But yeah, like I said, there's literally 2 votes separating you from CTV. Once again, everyone, if you don't like that,
Damn.
vote. It's that simple. And on the other side, we have 2 individuals who definitely should stick around, I think. But someone's got to go. So at the bottom is Baja Blast Freeze, followed by Chris Cosmo. Okay. All right. So everyone, between the two of you, right? Like you'll have to ask CDV, right? You may not have to beg, whatever, right? You can go the antagonistic route that Baja did last time. But one or the other, state your case as to why you should stay around. Baja.
Oh, me? I'm not begging again. You already know the deal. CDV can keep me if he wants to argue, but at this point, I don't know. My brain is kind of, it's been rotting, man. Listening to some of the takes on here, brain's kind of going through it, a little dead, but I still got life in me, so it is what it is. Whatever happens.
Okay. Chris Cosmo.
Yeah, I'm not gonna beg either. As soon as I saw CTV got added to the group, I just knew to go grab my chemo medication. Like I was just like, oh my god, this is gonna be complete and utter cancer, and it absolutely was. I very much do still enjoy these panels. I very much enjoyed this panel, just shooting at everybody. I don't know if I'll stick around, but I don't care. I'll still be back. I'll be fighting this like new battle royale again. You know, it's just the luck of the draw. Pretty, like a kind of shitty fucking panel. Even though you got Baja Blast Free Kevin and Captain A. Jones is like great. You have to deal with, you know, the endless void of CTV's mouth, whatever Sparky is. So yeah, that's me.
Okay. All right. CTV, make your choice.
Well, I gotta say, right, Baja, say you got energy, but I didn't see it. I didn't even see it in like the meme. It felt half-hearted, right? And Chris, you actually made me smile with your meme, right? It was deadly, right? So have a nice night.
All right, peace.
Oh
It
man.
is-
Oh wait, who's
Oh,
going?
sorry, no, yeah,
I think that's me, right? Inferring.
Oh no,
context from
Chris, have a nice
Yeah.
night.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, what?
Ha
Plot twist again.
He wants
Yep.
CTV is dedicated to killing all of your brain cells. Baja. So,
Trying to kill me. I see.
So
Video
Baja looks
game.
like you're in it for the long run.
Here
Chris
we go.
Cosmo, please tell the world about yourself.
Yes, again, I'm Chris Cosmo. I'm mainly a Twitch artist. Right now, working on my animation and art portfolio. Actually was able to fix that little glitch that was happening with the book drawing. It's just a little sketch. You can barely see it, but I'm going to be painting that tomorrow. It's going to be fun, and then I'm going to go over things I'm going to add to my portfolio. And yeah, I'm going to give all my spirit energy to Captain A. Jones. Like take it all the way. They're gonna torture you by blast freeze. Just use it, level up. And Kevin, just keep doing what you're doing. Like, you're doing good. Fuck the rest of you guys. Except for you.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Take care, Chris.
Wow, that's a real drop the mic moment right there. Okay. Well, all right. Well, once again, to my audience, hey, if you guys have a problem with who's on top, well then fucking vote. There's more of you watching than there are voting, so I don't know, like no complaints.
Typical progressive.
Yeah, right. Like I don't know. It's like this is literally your chance. You have a say in it. So if you got a problem, actually vote. If not, it is what it is. So, next topic. All right, we'll do this one.
Question.
Yep.
How many more votes are there?
There's only 2 more.
Okay.
So there's 2 more rounds. Yeah. Sha'Carri Richardson was recently suspended due to failing a drug test due to using non-performance enhancing drugs, being marijuana. Though the rule stated that this was not allowed, should the commission have made an exception for her and anyone else that failed it on the same basis? Should the Olympics take this as an opportunity to relook at their policies on drugs? Which of the drugs should be removed as a disqualifier? So yeah, I think many of you have heard it before. Maybe we talked about it on the show before. I can't remember. But anyway, Sha'Carri is a Olympic runner, and she won't be making the Tokyo Olympics because just like last week or so, she had tested positive for marijuana. And just to give a bit more background on that, just before a race, a reporter told her, she just found out from that reporter, that her biological mother had died, right? And so to relax, she either smoked or ate a brownie. In any case, after the race, she tested positive for marijuana, and she was suspended for a month. Because of the timing, it took her out of her preferred race, right? Her preferred competition. There's going to be a secondary competition where that she could have qualified for, but the U.S. track and field team did not pick her for that. To be fair, right? So should that have been the case? Should she have been disqualified at all for marijuana? But does it matter, like, for the rules, right? The rules are the rules. What does that mean? All right, 25 minutes left on the clock. Go, go, go.
God, I
The
hate to be
person
this
who's
guy.
literally smoking weed right now. Like, I have to say, this is just, it's really fucked up. Like, I feel so bad for her. Like, I use weed in a similar fashion. Like, she's trying to just like get over this fucking horrible trauma that just happened, and then they're going to use that against her for something that, I don't know if y'all ever smoked weed before, but let me just tell you, if you haven't, it's not a performance enhancing drug. It's not
Clearly, you're not
on
using
the
it for the
day
right
that you
things.
smoke it. It's not on the day after you smoke it. There's nothing performance enhancing about it. It might make things more fun, but that doesn't count. Look, trust me when I say this. Don't smoke and then try to do something like fucking really difficult like that. You're not going to have a great time.
Like what? Like what? Tell me what it is that you think would be inhibit someone's ability whenever they're smoking marijuana. Tell me.
Running?
Like running in an Olympic event
against all the other Olympic runners.
Yeah,
but you don't think that there would be some performance enhancing capabilities there with
absolutely
marijuana?
Not with marijuana. Absolutely
right.
not.
So you don't.
Holy
you don't think that the ability to slow your mind.
CTV, you're a pothead like me. Come on, let's not.
Oh, I know. I know.
Let's
This is exactly
CTV.
why. Like, I know. As soon as I go to try to posit an argument, you don't want to listen to
CTV,
it. Right?
make your. No, I actually.
Wait, hold on.
I'm interested in I'm interested in where you're taking this. CTV, please finish your point.
So like there is an inherent enhancement that gets made whenever you can slow your brain down, right, to the a slower concept of time, to where you can then have more cognitive ability over the breathing, over your steps, how long the steps are. Like, you would just be able to process more information, especially if you have any type of use over time with this performance enhancing drug, and that ultimately is where the performance enhancing capabilities can come from. Not only that. Right, marijuana is one hell of an aphrodisiac at the same time. Anybody that says that it's not using it for one of the things that it would be very, very good for, right? And in the same instance, right, the ability to be able to slow down time, right, allows you the ability to take more time, right, and to be patient and enjoy those moments, right? And then
we don't got to do this, CTV.
It's right there.
Nope.
It's right
so
there.
CTV, would you say that after you smoke marijuana? Let's just say you have a test. You smoke marijuana and then you go on a 2-mile run. And then you have another test. You don't smoke marijuana and you go on a 2-mile run. Which one do you think you're going to get the faster time in if you're really
the one where
pushing
I smoked,
yourself?
if I'm being honest.
What?
Probably the one where I smoked, if I'm being honest.
Okay, you're bullshitting with everybody.
Definitely going to enjoy the run.
Come on. I've been smoking for half my fucking life, man. You can't say this with a straight face.
Oh,
I'm really saying that marijuana is a performance-enhancing drug.
Less pain.
Really saying that?
Yeah, man.
Only area in which it would probably be better is BJJ.
No. Is Adderall a performance-enhancing drug?
We're not talking about Adderall right now. We're talking about marijuana.
You a question. Why can't you just answer a simple question?
Like, I haven't done Adderall, so how the fuck am I supposed to comment on something that I don't have any experience with? Thank you very much.
You don't know anything about it. That's fine. If you don't know anything about it, you can. I've
never taken it.
You don't
so
have to
how
be
the fuck do I know what the effects
calm down.
are?
Okay.
Dude. I'm completely calm. Completely.
Hit the joint with me, man. Okay. Let's calm down together. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to say, marijuana is not a performance-enhancing drug. It just goes back to the old fucking Robin Williams joke where he's
maybe not for you.
This was the same thing back in the 90s.
It seems like you're just trying to keep down the positive effects of marijuana. So I don't understand that.
I'm going to try to back up CTV here. Okay. All right. Here we go. No, listen to this, right? And I think because this wasn't originally my argument, it was someone else's. But I'm curious what you all think. So So there was a person who was on a news channel, right? Asked about this, right? They said they had a similar opinion to like Captain A. Jones and Baja Blasters and all that. That's not a performance enhancing drugs. But then they talked to two Olympian athletes, right? Former Olympian athletes, and they had a different opinion on that. They said that athletes are under a ton of pressure, right? Like to perform, right? Like this is it. Now it's time to put up or shut up, right? Like depending on when your performance right now, you're either qualifying to go to the Olympics or you're at the Olympics and this is the time to get that medal, right? Are you gonna medal now or not? Like we know nerves fuck up athletes all the time. So if marijuana calms you down and takes the edge off, is that not in itself performance enhancing?
So let me actually answer that directly. Marijuana is it's a muscle relaxant, and so it actually works to calm you down. This is physically and mentally. This is if it works. A lot of people have negative reactions, of course. So this is just a very general thing. But I would contend that these athletes have no idea what they're talking about. These people are not the potheads out there. They're not the people smoking weed. How would they know? I mean, they're saying this like they think it, but if that was so true, why do they not do it because of the rules, because of the drug testing?
So this
If
is
pot
because of
was
the rules,
so
they probably
performance
smoke
enhancing,
casually, right?
wait, hold on. If pot was so performance enhancing, why are
You're
people
just a
doing
couch
steroids?
potato.
Shut up, dude. If
You're
pot
just
was
a
so
couch potato,
performance
bro.
enhanced, I have a Peloton right behind me. Shut up. If pot was so performance
Couch
enhancing,
potato.
Stop!
Shut
Come
up.
on, let him finish. Let him finish the
if
point.
pot was so performance enhancing, then why don't we see bodybuilders and athletes smoking pot instead of doing steroids? There's a massive steroid epidemic with athletes and bodybuilders, etc. But there's not a massive smoking weed epidemic. Gee, I wonder why.
Oh
Well,
wow!
it's probably
I'll
because
explain that.
weed is not
No, I'll
performance
explain that
enhancing
to
when it
you.
comes to
I'll
athletic
explain
events.
that. Would you like an explanation? Okay, so here's your explanation, right? There,
Go for it.
you just named a couple of different sports there, which ultimately would have different needs as far as what their
What
the
sports did I
highest
name?
performance level capable is going to be able to achieve, right? Like there's inherently a difference between just picking up weight and just trying to reach a bench level and then being able to perform over time that would be able to help bring the anxiety down and this and that and the other. That's why like the sport in which it's being used, depending on how it's being used, which is exactly what Prime said, can be right? Performance enhancing depending on how it's being used. What you seem to be doing right now is trying to correlate one sport to all sports, right? And that just doesn't give enough nuance for me to be able to have this conversation with
Wrong.
somebody.
I was talking about Olympic
not
sports.
yeah,
Very
yeah. And
specifically because that's what the
So
question
do you
is
think
about.
there's
do you
only
know
one
how
type
many
of
Myers, I
Olympic
have a
sport?
question
in
for
the
you.
Olympics?
Do you think that
you think there's
antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication should be considered performance enhancing?
That's
No,
such
I
a
don't know. I
tough
haven't
question
taken
because
those. Now,
StarCraft players have been known
no, I
to
don't know. We're
do
talking about
Adderall
marijuana.
as a performance enhancing drug.
Right. So,
And as
so the
somebody
one
who
we're
has
just going to
done
breeze
Adderall,
past, like the idea that there are different
God,
sports in the
CTV,
Olympics,
dude.
right? So
Oh
just one. You
no,
don't
I
get to
was
just
Shut
breeze
up.
past points, right?
Well, I mean,
You
like
don't
the
get to
only
just
You're
breeze
not
reason I
making
past
a
asked that
point.
is
I'm
just
attempting
because of
to
the
make a
fact
point
Oh,
and
that.
add to the
I'm definitely
conversation.
making
Well,
the
I mean,
point.
the only
You just
reason
don't
that
know
I
what the
asked
fuck
that
you're talking
question
about.
is because we're just getting into the weeds of how weed, pun not intended,
Nice.
is supposed to be a performance enhancing drug for the Olympics when it's such a silly conversation to have, considering the fact that the athlete who was kicked out of the Olympics was I don't know, she smoked it about a month before the actual event was happening because her mother died and she was told about it from a news reporter. So, first of all, when she smoked it is irrelevant, and second, weed is not a performance enhancing drug in the sense that it does not help you win the Olympics very much like steroids can. So
All of these
if we're
things
gonna
come down
if
to
we're
how
gonna
it
go
affects
down
the
the if we're
individual,
gonna
though,
go
right?
down the route,
Do you
if
not
we're
agree
gonna
with
go,
that? Do you not
sorry,
agree
say
with
that
that?
again.
Do you not agree that all of these things come down to how the drug or whatever it is affects the individual, right? Like we already went over stress, anxiety, you can argue muscle, you can like argue all these things, but if it has the positive net benefit to the individual user, causes them to be able to handle the situations that they are in a more effective manner and give them the ability to perform a little bit better than they would normally because they don't have all those stresses there or even pain management during the thing that they're doing, right? that is all down to the individual, because not all drugs are going to affect all people the exact same way in order to cause this thing to happen. The individual does come into this.
And I think
Well,
that's
the
why it's
problem-
important
that's
to
just-
note.
problem
it's
is
it's
that
important to note the
marijuana isn't
Olympic
going-
Committee itself doesn't count weed as a performance enhancing drug. And I
Yeah.
think the
Okay,
reason
so
probably
look-
is for exactly what you said, whereas for the drugs that are PEDs, do have a universal effect on most of the population that confers undue benefits during a sport. So I do agree that weed can be used probably in like BJJ or maybe some other abstract sports to be performance enhancing. And I think some people in those sports do say so. However, I think if we're going to say that weed is performance enhancing, we might as well say sugar is. Like, if you sugar dope before a run, does that really count as like an enhancing drug? You're taking in like some fucking like white sugar cane and you're just doping up real quick to get very jittery. I don't
mean,
think this
literally-
like is a good baseline
Can
to
you tell
set for
me-
what we count as a pet.
Sorry, can someone
I-
tell me
Hot
what
blast, you
BJJ
just
is? I
blasted
have
down
Brazilian
the
Jiu-Jitsu.
Brazilian
wall.
Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay, great, thanks.
Most excellent.
So
Not what you were
if I may-
thinking, Prime.
if I
all
may,
right?
You're a
we
dirty
actually jump in
motherfucker.
here.
Jeez.
If
My
I may,
goodness.
He didn't
Oh,
even
oh,
say
the extra
BJJ
Oh, he
could
didn't
mean
mean to say
anything.
it.
Why did your
Fucking
minds have
nailed
to
it,
go
Baha.
there?
He did.
Y'all just
Oh,
had to
don't
take
even-
it there. Prime was not talking about that. You
Okay.
just disingenuous fucks, right? Taking it to a dirty, nasty place of sexuality. I can't believe that y'all would attempt to put that on there. He's just asking because he didn't know that it meant Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. My God.
Well,
It doesn't
CTV,
mean
you do know
blowjob
that they
jobs,
get
okay?
down like
Blowjob job would be
rabbits in the
fire.
Olympic Village. You know that. They get down
Okay,
like
it's
rabbits
almost
in the
as bad
Olympic
as saying
Village.
weed is a performance enhancing
Sparky,
drug.
did you want to say
Oh,
something?
no, but it
Yeah,
definitely
yes,
is,
I
though.
would love to say something on this. Look, she knew what the rules were. She got caught. She fucked up. She found out. That's her
Oh
problem.
my god.
I don't care. Look, I want weed to be legalized, and I really think that the Olympic Committee should rethink. But rules are rules. Hate to break it to you. So she knew what was going on, and hate to break this to you as well. Weed is fat soluble. That woman barely has an ounce of fat on her body. If she claimed that she smoked it 30 days ago, she's a fucking liar.
Well, it gets
doesn't
caught in
stay
your hair, doesn't it? So that's like kind
They
of a
don't
lot of
test the hair. They
advanced
test the blood. There's a difference. And
100%. Can I get a link to that? Is that just how Olympic testing goes for everything, even suspected weed charges? I feel like that's kind of dumb.
Why would they-
I don't
why
think
would
he
they
actually
go-
knows that. I think he's just
Why-
saying
no.
that.
most
No,
of your sporting committees do it through blood and urine, for Christ's sakes. It's not that big of a deal. It's less invasive, and you don't take hair off of someone. And have you seen an Olympic swimmer, for Christ's sakes? They probably even wax their butthole to try to get
So,
that extra thousandth of
just-
a second. So
Can I get a
Go ahead.
clarification by the conservative
my butthole
CTV
just
and,
for fun,
and
but
Air
go ahead.
Skarky?
Yeah, sorry.
Do y'all believe that marijuana is a performance enhancing drug?
that's not
One
even
of you
my
guys know.
argument in the least bit.
Well, I'm just asking a question.
to some people it could be. To others, it may not.
Okay,
I
that's a decent
spoke weed. For me, it would not be a performance enhancing
Well, there
drug.
you go. All I'm
But
saying is that in
For other
general,
people, it might.
99% of people who smoke weed, they're not going to go and get on a fucking
you lost the
Peloton
argument
and
over
do a
here, so let's
30-minute
go ask
ride as well
Sparky.
as
I
they
got
were.
it.
There is actually a legitimate argument when it comes down to the whole anxiety thing that yes, it could be considered a performance enhancing drug. And when you're talking about something such as sprinting, I guess there's some anxiety. I wouldn't know. I'm not a sprinter. Look at this body, for Christ's sakes.
Okay.
Not the body of a sprinter. But look, for every sport has different anxieties and stuff. So could it be? Yes, it could be. Is it in general? No, but most people who smoke a lot of weed don't
So
do a
as
lot
somebody
of
who
running.
smokes weed, and this is where I'm really getting a little frustrated with CTV because he's being disingenuous right now. He smokes.
No,
a
he
lot of
actually
weed.
isn't.
Look, he smokes a lot of weed, and look,
Though.
weed, like alcohol, is something that you build up a tolerance to. If you're an Olympic athlete and you're smoking weed to once a week, you're gonna get super fucking high. Oh my god, I don't get high like that anymore. It's literally I'm incapable of it. I could take all the fucking edibles I have, smoke all the weed I have, I'll just get a fucking headache. It's not capable of me to get that high. CTV knows this as well. Like, and so we're talking about like the Olympic athletes who kind of also need to be huge fucking stoners, or else this literally just wouldn't work. It just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I really don't think that this is a sensible argument in terms of the Olympics, because as Baja Blast said, weed is not one of the drugs that is considered performance enhancing. He nailed that point out of the park. And really, the only reason why we're here is because the Olympic Committee decided to use an arbitrary rule that shouldn't have been employed in the first place to kick a very promising athlete out of the Olympics, and it was unjust. It was not something that should have been done, honestly.
Was it unjust because the rules have existed? She was aware of the rules. So is it really unjust when she willingly broke the rule and just got caught?
Aircraft, let me ask you this. Do you think that, like, would you say the same thing? Would you say the same? Would you say the same
right?
thing?
And then, like, you just keep doing this.
Would you say the same thing if
And
a
you're a
black person
lawyer.
got shot by a police
Lawyer.
officer?
It's amazing.
If a black person got shot by a police officer,
Would
so
you say that they should have followed the rules?
well, I mean, I will tell you, breaking the law could result in lead poisoning. So I don't care about the color of the skin of the individual if they are doing
that's what I
something
thought.
wrong.
So your point's irrelevant here. So what we're talking about is someone
why is
who
my point
had the
irrelevant?
rules
Skin color has
applied to
nothing to do
them
with it. If
in
they're
the
breaking
Olympics
the rules,
Committee
they're breaking
because
the
weed
rules.
is a harmless drug, dude. Are you seriously going to
doesn't
tell me
matter.
that a
It
promising
doesn't
athlete would
matter.
be kicked out? It actually
Are
does.
you mad because she's black, or are you mad because she got caught smoking weed? Which one is it? Because the reality is, it doesn't matter about the skin color.
Well, personally, I'm pissed off that a lot of black athletes are being targeted by the Olympic Committee, but that may or may not be related depending on if you live in reality or not. But
how is
honestly,
they
I just think.
community? Are you actually going to say that black people are more?
Hey, he's been trying to answer you the entire time, buddy, and you've just been cutting him off. So if you want to let him answer you, I've actually not been cutting you guys off. I don't know if you noticed that. I really don't. So, like, maybe you want to let him answer.
They don't.
Well, it means he doesn't have an argument.
Kevin, get to your point, please.
I was just going to say, the whole fact of the matter is that the rule should not have been applied as arbitrarily as it did, and it's bullshit. The end.
Was it applied arbitrarily?
Yeah, I gotta push back on this a little bit because I do think they're probably gonna get rid of this rule soon. I think they have said something about it. I think when AOC talked about it or something. I was reading an article earlier. But at the end of the day, I don't know how many complications come from being able to just make a exception to the rule here that maybe other people would probably feel some kind of way about some other rule that wasn't, made an exception for them. So at the end of the day, I don't know how hard it is for the Olympic Committee to be able to just make an exception without seeming like they're doing favoritism or something. I think if you're going to go to this event and you're going to run, it sucks, but it is what it is for the time being. I think we just have to put our energy behind really making sure that the Olympics know that this is just a bullshit rule.
So,
but you got to be fair to the people that are running it.
To back up Baja Blastries and also Sparky here, right? The other ones, everyone else knew what the rules were. She knew what the rules were, and everyone else managed to follow the rules. So how is it at all fair to them, others who followed the rules properly, right? I mean, other people have had tragedy. I mean, there's dozens of these athletes, right? I can guarantee that others suffered tragedy on their way. And we know this, it happens all the time. They feature these things during the Olympics, look at this adversity they've overcome, right? And they followed the rules, and they didn't ingest any marijuana. So why should this person get an exception?
Exactly. I can answer that.
White Olympic swimmer that was removed from competition as well. So,
what I'm thinking is that people deal with grief in different ways, and it seems just super sus that she had smoked weed a month before. After again, she found out that her mother died in a very shitty way. A reporter told her instead of finding out on her own, and again. The Olympic Committee isn't going after people who drink alcohol or smoke cigarettes, to deal with their grief. Even though you could say the nicotine or the alcohol
isn't against
impacts them in the similar ways, but that's the thing.
But it's more
that's the thing, though. The rule is super arbitrary, and it's just a little silly that marijuana, which has traditionally been treated as a drug whose severe impact on society is vastly overblown.
Yeah, but you don't even know how long weed stays in your system. You just don't know how long it stays in your system. It's evident by everything that you're saying, right?
But
she just smoked it once, it would be out of her system within 2 weeks. right? The fact that it was still in her system 30 days later indicates to me that she smoked a hell of a lot more than just once. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's fine. If you're saying she's lying, that's fine. I don't have a big deal
And
with
then that way is that we
I've-
go right back to what
No,
are
no,
the
no,
rules,
no.
right?
It's not right back to nothing, because here's the thing that you
Right
guys have
back to
not
the
answered.
rules.
Hold on, CTV. Because weed is no different physically than an aspirin in terms of what it does physically, not what it does inside of your head and what you
Yep.
feel, but in terms of what it does to you physically. It makes your muscles relax. It's the same thing as an aspirin. I mean, is aspirin illegal? Like, I agree that it's really fucked up what happened to her, but ultimately this is not something that, like, I'm not gonna fucking lose sleep over this. You know what I mean? But like, you know, when we talk about it in terms of realistic, what does weed actually do? Is it a performance enhancing drug? The answer is no. It's no, unless you think aspirin is, which I don't think so.
I think the more interesting talk is more about, like, should the rules just be made, there should be change right now, like an exception made for it. And I just think, like, I don't think we have to have everything that we want all at once. I think this just brings a point to people in general to be able to point out, like, laws that are pretty arbitrary based on, like, just misinformation that's been spread over time about marijuana. I mean, it happens, like, we can apply the situation outside of just the Olympics. There are people that are in jail for weed that probably shouldn't be ever. You're right. And it's kind of the same situation. I don't think it's right there in, like, real life for people going to jail, because that's like an actual law that matters. This is a private, like, kind of like enterprise where you just are supposed to follow the rules because everyone else is doing it. They're keeping clean. They're abstaining from, like, the things that they want. And I think there's fundamental difference between, making an exception here and maybe in other areas where I would completely agree with you, Kevin, that we should just, like, get rid of rules that discriminate based on marijuana use. I think we just have to be a little bit more fair to the people in these, like, systems, because they're training, they're doing shit.
And let's please not forget why marijuana is illegal in the first place, because of racism back in the fucking 20s and 30s. Like, holy shit. Let's not forget about that part, because that's a big part of it.
Right, so if you're for legalizing it federally, that's going to have its effect on the Olympic rules, right? So then that would be the best way to
no.
actually
The Olympics
combat
is not
this
a
moving
United
forward.
States. Absolutely not. The Olympics has nothing to do with
Yeah,
the United States. What are you talking
It will
about?
affect the way.
No, CTV,
in
what are you
which-
talking about?
Hello, listen.
I am listening, and I'm asking
No,
what
you're
you're
not
talking
listening.
about.
You heard something you disagreed with without fully understanding it, and
Okay,
then you did the typical thing that you've been
I
doing
loved
all
your
night, which
bikini
is just
picture,
go ahead and
goddammit,
jump
go
in there,
for it.
right? So then, like, I'm just going to go ahead and just keep on this little diatribe until I get to the end of it, until I understand that I have the complete room's attention. Right now,
So cute.
I know it's so. Look,
Your
okay,
picture in the bikini was
stop,
adorable,
Captain,
dude.
Stop. We gotta move on. Go ahead, CTV.
This, I know. This is where, like, if you legalize it federally, it will have its effect on not only the teams that represent the different nations, but it can have an effect, as far as the rulings for the Olympics, right? These things are, worldwide, and how the rules come together, et cetera, et cetera. But you can't deny that the United States is definitely one of the leaders, especially when they decided to put the war on drugs into place, right? That helped push some of these things along the line, right? So,
I agree
since
with
we
that,
can understand
but
that,
that's not what you said.
that's what I said.
No,
Like
it's
I
not.
said, though, I said what I needed to say in order to get that reaction out of you. So thank you for being so predictable, right?
Good job. Wow, you're amazing, CTV.
Great. So, hon,
Tell me about
so Kevin FM, I thought, made an interesting point talking about nicotine, right? And then it also relaxes people, right? We hear some smokers, and like it's how I relax, Think that I had a stressful day, and so I smoke a cigarette. So, should cigarettes also be banned for the same reasons that if that's a if the relaxing element is the bad part of marijuana, should cigarettes also be banned?
I don't think
No.
I don't think weed should be
Do it.
banned. For Christ's sakes, if they want to do heroin, I don't care if they do that. In fact, you know what? I want steroids used in Olympics. I want to see the best athletic prowess ever.
The best humanity has to offer.
Exactly.
No
I
matter the
want them-
The
consequences.
smallest
want them
testicles
angry.
humanity has to offer. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean,
Ghost in the shell, literally. Okay.
I seriously, I think that the whole drug
I think
thing
that's
is
silly.
ridiculous. But
So I think that the Olympics having
They
rules,
have
I just
unleashed
think
the
that they
chaos.
should be, yeah, I just think that they should be consistent. Kind of like Prime was just saying, like if nicotine, yeah, nicotine, I use both.
how,
Yay!
how are
Like,
they not
the same
consistent
thing, kind
though?
of,
How is it not consistent?
because nicotine is not banned.
Uh, okay, well, a high amounts of caffeine, I believe, was banned at one time from the Olympics.
Okay. I agree that
there's,
caffeine is a performance enhancing drug.
there's been
you're not
all
gonna hear
kinds of
any-
things that have been banned, but the deal is, just because you dislike the rule, honestly, I dislike the rule. I think
then we're in
that
agreement.
Oh,
I
hey,
think-
good.
Let's be friends and smoke
Awesome.
together.
I think that honestly, weed should be completely fine for them to use. But look, I'm not on the Olympic Committee. I don't make
Perfect.
that decision, right?
I mean, I wish you were with that opinion. I really do.
I mean, look, seriously.
Marky's trying to fight somebody.
I'm not letting
I'm not
him.
giving
I'm
it
not
to
letting
him.
him. This is about
Yeah.
one love and peace. Battle Royale. Fuck that. All right.
No. See, I'm all about, dude, legalize weed. Let's not forget the CTV meme. Everything's about the drug war. I'm not against legalizing drugs. Period.
Oh,
But when
damn.
it comes-
Me and you, brother. This is
But
what
when
I'm
it comes
fucking talking
down-
about. Now
when it
we can
comes
agree
down-
on some shit.
Yeah, man, we
Let's
can
go.
agree on we can agree on a
Legalize
lot
all the
more than what
fucking
you actually
drugs.
think.
Drugs for
Oh,
everyone.
Group hugs.
Okay.
Group
Okay.
Here's the deal. When
Okay.
it comes down to it, the rules are already set. You don't make an exception to the rule. It sucks that she lost her mother. I can empathize with that. But all the same, I work in a job where I can't use marijuana, and I've unfortunately had to bury probably about 6 of my friends over the past year and a half. The veteran community is plagued with things like suicide. It's horrible. But nonetheless, he persisted, and he does his job, and he does it well without any type of drugs that are considered illegal in my career. So that's just where it is. Does it suck? Yes.
So okay.
But that's the reality, right?
Thank you for that, Sparky. And I'm generally sorry for your losses. Yeah, it's what the veteran community is always going through is absolutely terrible.
It is part of it. Unfortunately, it's not. I don't say that to garner sympathy. I'm just saying I kind of understand where that comes from.
Yeah.
But it's I can have empathy and still go follow the damn rules.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. So we are going to go into another voting round. All right. So I'm going to put a link in chat. You'll have 5 minutes to vote. All right. Which of these individuals gets to stay into the final round? All right. The upcoming final round. You'll be deciding who gets to stay, right? And you'll be deciding who's at the top and gets to pick who's going to be leaving, right? And so, if you have someone that you think should be at the top, then you should be voting for that person. If you're not voting for that person, well, this is literally your fault. This is democracy, right? It's a contract sport. So you gotta get involved. All right. So put the link in chat. 5 minutes. 5 minutes to vote on that person. Vote now or don't complain at me. Like, so that's simple. All right. Off you go. Vote right now. Link is in chat. Do it now. Okay. So to the rest of you, you guys can keep talking for a little bit. Like,
So back to the smoking. What's everybody smoking on?
Let's see.
Recently.
I got
I don't smoke
got
anything.
gelato fuel.
Do you have to be clean, Kevin?
What?
Oh no, I don't have to be clean. I run my own business, but the last time that I smoked marijuana, I got so paranoid I puked all over the place.
That is the shittiest thing. That happened to my girlfriend. And now I just we have a solidarity. Like, I smoke sometimes, but I'm in solidarity with her. She can't really smoke that often, so I kind of took a step back from the plant.
I'm
Yeah.
a gigantic fucking pothead. I'm also smoking on some Chemdog. So it's gelato fuel and Chemdog, these pre-rolls. I also got some other weed too. And
got a
I
dispensary?
also got this shit that I swear to God is not heroin, even though it's in a syringe. I get it. It looks very suspect.
That
but
is
it's hash
sus as
oil.
fuck.
It is sus as
That
fuck.
is
I get
so
it. But
sus.
it's hash oil. Oh my God.
Where's your
it
spoon
is-
at, man?
Uh-oh.
Holy
No,
shit.
you put it inside the joints. All right. I swear to God. I swear to God. Believe me.
Yeah. That's a dispensary loving though. They do that shit for you. They inject it for you.
No. So I mean, you just buy the it's called a dablicator.
A dablicator, really?
Yeah.
Cringe. Look, I don't see why everyone they should have legalized weed a long time ago, but I mean, no, instead we'd rather spend, millions and billions of dollars. And by the way, a lot of military lives, because we do ops down there in South America to stop the war on drugs, which is ridiculous. But I mean, yeah, there's no reason the whole drug deal would solve a lot of problems just by legalizing drugs. Stop a lot of gang violence too, from my understanding.
It makes a lot of fucking money in state locales. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in a state that's trying to get it, up and running with dispensaries. We decriminalize and all that. And it's just taking so long to get the money flow. And it's just like, it's crazy. We can't buy anything.
Well, you know why, right? It's because on the federal level it's illegal, and thus banks are not, just for their own safety, are not dealing with a lot of the or with any of the like any of the distributors, the growers, any part of the logistics chain.
And I thought the licensing was also taking a fuckload of time. Like,
So-
it takes
I mean, that
yeah.
too,
It's-
city government
it's-
getting a new policy up and running.
Yeah, that's
There's
interesting.
a lot
I
of
mean, it absolutely does.
Just so chat, remember, link is in chat. Vote right now. Vote right this second. Don't complain at me later. When the person you want to win doesn't win. And if you're just finding this channel, hit the follow button, just like Sarblabble, I don't know. Just follow the channel. Follow the channel right now. Make sure notifications are on so you know I'm going live. But I thought that was interesting in terms of I've heard that like how corporations or these laws are designed to make it so big marijuana, like large corporations, is a thing, right? Like, and push out smaller growers. That like to get like a license, it's like just so incredibly expensive that only a large corporate entity can do so. And so anything else, of course, is still made illegal, right? So yeah.
It really
I mean,
depends on what state
It's
you're
not
in,
$1 million,
because
but
I
having helped some clients actually put in those applications, it is stupid complicated and stupid expensive. So, I mean, you don't really give people the chance, like smaller growers to actually do it. So Big Pot comes in, all right, here we go. Big Pot in another state, because the applications are a state-by-state thing.
and also
And it's kind of ridiculous.
It requires so much capital up front to get a grow op and logistics chain going. I mean, like, it's just way too capital intensive.
They're just going to feed the gray market
because
at the end of the day. That's what's going to happen in most
Oh,
states.
oh my God. Like, if Biden legalizes weed before the election, Biden,
That's the silver bullet.
Oh my
I'm sorry to
God.
the conservatives out there, but that's the silver
legalize it.
bullet to secure an
I mean, the
election.
important thing is, like, he shouldn't even just legalize it. He should also, like, pardon all the people who have been arrested for it. Now, I know he doesn't have that power on the state level, but if it's federally legalized, then he may be able to make something happen.
He could
But even
push
then-
for it and maybe make a statement by using some of his the pardons that he has.
Yeah.
I agree with that, but I would as a dirty political move, I would be a little careful with that, because I don't want to give the Republicans anything, but I totally agree that we need to let these people the fuck out of jail.
So you would just
And
let
that is a
people
state thing, unfortunately.
sit in prison,
I mean-
just to own the cons, huh?
What?
He just said he'll make an exception for this. He just said he would. Free people.
Well,
Okay.
so that it's just a little more complicated than that. So I
Okay.
mean, like,
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
So
It
that's
is.
that's the voting round. Okay, that is the voting round. All right, and the chat or someone is making a statement here. CTV stands at the top. So number one, Captain A. Jones is coming in at number two. There we go. Right back there. Okay. All right. Followed by Sparky, and at the bottom, Kevin FM, and I don't know, Baha. I think you're doing a great job. I want you to know that. I want you.
Look, I just need a personal army. Next time I'm coming in here, I'm streaming more. I'm going to fucking gotcha hell, and I'm gonna bring a bunch of followers here, and I'm gonna vote myself up to the top, because fuck this rigged ass poll.
Do it.
Okay.
Fight the power.
All right. But It is what it is. So, 30 seconds. You can say anything. You don't have to beg or anything, right? You could say anything in that 30 seconds as to why you want to stay, or just any other message you want to leave the audience. So, Baha.
So my message is, you motherfuckers out there need to vote for me, okay? Like I'm done. After this Royale has taught me a fucking lesson that I have to come in here and scream like a fucking ape for you people. I have to do that to get your fucking attention. So you guess what? You made the fucking Joker out of me. I'm going full fucking Joker mode next time you see me on this fucking channel. And sorry, you're gonna have to deal with that. It's gonna be fucking annoying, and you guys are gonna have to fucking deal with that now. So whatever.
Okay, Kevin.
We all live in a society. That's my closing statement.
So, CTV. Which one of these individuals is heading out the door?
I think that it's obvious at this point that the audience has spoken, right? They love watching me just abuse the shit out of Baha. So Baha, you're staying. Kevin, have a nice night.
All right, I'm fine with that, honestly. I've had a blast.
Kevin FM, please tell people where to find you.
All right, Poggers Party people, if you want to find probably the best lawyer on Twitch, that's probably a misrepresentation, but we'll go with that, then please find me at my channel, The Kevin FM. That's where you'll find me. I talk about law, politics, and a whole bunch of other stuff. We just did a labor stream today, so if you want deep dives, you know who to find.
Okay. Thank you so much. Very much appreciate having you around. We'd love to have you in the future.
Yeah, boss, of course. Have a good one, guys.
Have a good one. So I saw that comment, Captain A. Jones. Our boy Pisco is not a lawyer. Yeah, he's very, very stringent about that. He will not represent himself as a lawyer because he has not yet passed the bar. But right now, as we speak, he is studying for that exam, and we wish him the best.
What do they do here? Oh, well, thank you for the new follow. Oh, wait, shit. I'm still here.
Ghost, the spirit.
Oh, boy.
Streamer mistakes.
Oh, boy. But yeah, so maybe Pisco can challenge our friend Kevin FM for the title soon one day, but not yet. Just not yet.
Love that.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna go into the final round, and just so you know, voting changes just like we did last week in the final round. Okay. So that's gonna happen. So you're prepared. So you can't say, "Oh, you did this at the last minute." No, I'm telling you now. All right. But thank you for the ones who are still here with us. Right. You guys have done an amazing job. Final topic. You would assume I have that in front of me, but I never do. All right, so, all right. So, due to the assassination of the Haitian president, the country has been thrown into chaos. The U.S. has the capacity to help restabilize, but many of the issues in Haiti stem from the U.S.'s role over the years, over the centuries. In scenarios like this, should the U.S. get involved? So it doesn't have to be limited just to Haiti, right? When there is a country that is being destabilized for some reason, right? Should the U.S. get involved? All right, 15 minutes left on the clock. Jump on in.
Hell no. There we go. Enough said. America only, not America first. America only. If people want to help, if the private citizen wants to go help a country, go for it. But it is not America's business to be the world police. It is not America's prerogative to waste manpower and money, blood and treasure for someone. I mean, look, you could say that America has helped cause a lot of the problems in Haiti. No, France has. If you know anything about the history of Haiti, it is originally a French colony. A lot of their problems came from France. One of their chief trade partners happens to be the United States. Now, if you want to say the U.S. has actually caused a lot of the problems, no, I would say the Democrat Party has mostly caused problems with Haiti, and I'm looking at you, Clinton Foundation. So ultimately, no, it has nothing to do with America. Therefore, we should not help them unless they ask for us, and then we leave it up to the American people to actually vote to see if we should help them, because we have homeless in our country. we have problems in our country that instead of us helping our fellow countrymen, we're throwing it out like candy at a freaking parade with foreign aid left and right. No, America only until America's fixed, and then maybe we can help the rest of the world.
I can't believe you guys didn't hit on that meme. I mean, it was like right there in front of everybody, right? Everybody remember Coneheads? You go, France.
trying to
We
let
come from France, right? Nobody else?
That's an
Right.
old
I
reference.
know.
Many people are gonna know that.
You got to catch these kids up sometime, Prime. They got to get up with actual, culture is,
Oh,
right?
man.
All of it.
God,
40 years. Coneheads. Let's do this.
God, when I was like 6 years old and I first fucking saw that movie, I thought it was a fucking horror movie. That was frightening.
I
Okay.
am almost certain Baja Blast Beats was not born.
Yeah, this is fucking boomer hour. All right? This is boomer hour right now. I don't
That's
even
fair
know
enough.
if this sounds racist, kind of. I don't even know
Okay,
what's
so-
going on.
Wow. Yeah.
What is that from?
But
Either way, back on topic.
Yeah.
So,
Fucking
I think it's God. This is such a tough question when it comes to Haiti, and like right now, this
yeah.
is a really tough question. I'm super inclined to think that I don't know what we're gonna do there that's gonna help, but that does not mean that helping our friends abroad in general is not a good idea. We should not have left the Kurds to rot. We should
Yep.
not have left our allies in Afghanistan and Iraq like we did. I hate to say it like that, but I actually disagree with that move. As much as like a neo-lib that makes me, I really think that we need to be helping our allies. This is not a world.
Would you go there and do it yourself?
Absolutely, they wouldn't allow me anywhere near the military. Okay,
Oh,
like I said at the
oh.
beginning, I'm a complete lie. I'm not a captain. I'm not an A, and I am not a Jones.
Well, I'll just let you know. Yeah, I've been all over the world under the United States military and doing all this stuff. I've been the forefront of foreign policy in the United States. I have watched my brothers and sisters die by horrible mistakes and decisions made by politicians. And unless you're willing to put your ass out there and do it your damn self, where I respect your opinion, I humbly ask you to take it back because you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Okay, so
Would you
I think
keep that? Would you be
that's
consistent with that with like past involvements?
well,
that
hold
we've
on. I'm
done?
sorry.
Yes,
He just
yes.
hold on. Just to answer that directly, fuck you. People who make policy in this country fucking have law degrees and shit. What the fuck do they know about fighting? Most of them haven't been in the fucking army. So how is that some kind of fucking litmus test? Hey, thanks for your fucking service, but fuck you at the same time. All right.
Hey, I just think unless you're willing to actually put your own ass
Cool,
on the
man.
line, I think you should never advocate.
Yeah, and I think that
that
most of the things that you've said tonight are fucking reprehensible. So there you go. I guess we're bullseyeing on each other. You know what I mean? Dunking on each other. There you go, buddy.
what it is, man.
okay.
So I got to go back. Do you think
so-
all involvement, period, is just trash? Like we shouldn't do it?
I don't think we owe them anything. And I think that it is their own country and we should allow them to handle their own business. We need to stop being the world police.
I'm asking more about your general perspective. Haiti, there are actually some arguments that maybe we shouldn't be there. I agree with Captain A. Jones. I don't know exactly what the fuck we would be doing there, but there are definitely times like the Korean War where America has definitely made a good impact in the world and has stopped like evil forces categorically, like
World War
morally
II,
repugnant
Korean
forces
War.
from
You're
doing
not-
bad shit.
Arguably
not
Saddam
wrong.
Hussein fucking invading Kuwait. I mean, come on. There's a lot of examples of the United States actually stepping in and maybe possibly like, okay, war is never good. Oh, we should have never had the war in the first place. But the fucking shit happened. And fuck, we got to deal with it. And yeah, we have the biggest stick. And
We
you
do.
know what? We should never let our allies in Germany, UK, France, in Europe, in Asia, anywhere or we have allies, we should not leave them out to fucking dry. We should not hang them out to dry because there's shit that goes back in some cases hundreds of years that led to like Taiwan or Hong Kong or any of these fucking South Korea. So many examples of shit and we cannot just allow a power vacuum to happen where China or any of our other adversaries who are not as good as us. We are better than them. I also like America. I also think that America is like, you know, I live here for fuck's sake. I love this country, and I don't think that we should fucking cede it to the Chinese or the Russians.
I can agree with not ceding it, but don't you think that
no,
it would
you
give
just
us
literally
more-
said otherwise though.
No, I said that we should be taking care of America only. Take care of America first before we bother with the rest of the world. If you experience, you know, escape of pressure and flight, you make sure to secure your own mask before you secure others. If you're going down in a boat, you put on the life vest on yourself before you put it on other people. The problem is America has problems that we have been ignoring for decades, and to sit there and spend our blood and treasure on other countries who are not America-stan is just another way of wasting the taxpayer money without actually not helping the taxpayer. Look, I feel sorry for what's going on in Haiti. It is horrible. The fact that that dictator was killed, I think that person should have been put on trial before they were killed. But look, I didn't kill him. It's not our problem. It is Haiti, which is an independent nation, which is sovereign, that should be able to handle themselves. If they want help, they will ask for help. Until then, we should be as non-interventionist as possible. We have been at war constantly since the 1950s because of Korea. The majority of my military career was spent deployed in shitholes overseas, and all of the continents, with the exception of Antarctica, still trying to get there. But we're fighting all these wars. I've been down in South America, Africa, Asia, the Middle East, freaking Europe, all these places. And what has it done but raise the debt of America, killed our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines, and possibly future guardians?
So
But
can I
Are they of
respond to
the
that really
galaxy,
quick?
though?
Jack, I have a
Yeah, I know,
silver
right?
bullet here. I have a question. Do you think that back in 1776, back when we were getting our independence, that our French allies that came by were saying the same things that you were saying? Because I feel like if you have all these positions, you're consistent, and this is your morals, then you don't believe the USA should fucking exist at this point. We
I
won
think
the
that
war.
is some of the most ridiculous logic
think-
I've ever heard.
So
So
if all the other countries that helped us didn't help us, they didn't give us aid and troops, like France predominantly.
No,
Spain
I
has troops
get-
as well.
I get what you're saying, but see, here's the deal. France at that time was actually able and capable. They weren't in massive debt. And
Mm.
some years later, they actually overthrew their king because they destabilized, and we helped them. What has Haiti done for us?
So do you think that we should not
I
have
don't really look at it that way,
helped
right? Like for
France
me,
back then?
and maybe you guys can let me know what you think about it, right? But like, I've got more of a Star Trek Into Darkness, right, kind of take on this, right? Like, you know,
Good movie.
yeah. So you've seen it, right? So like, you remember there at the beginning of it, right? Whenever they were getting ready to drop that ice bomb in the volcano, right? And there was a
Yo.
big concern about whether or not, you know, those that's the
The species.
what species, right? That the indigenous
survived, yep.
peoples there, like that like they'd only just barely invented the wheel, right? Whether or not they could even see a starship, right? So
then
at
they
some
totally saw
point,
them.
like,
It was fucking
yeah,
hilarious.
I
And they
know, I
they
know.
got their gun and like a jacket and shit.
Right. So then, like, this is where, like, the philosophy when it comes to American foreign policy, right? At some point, the people there have to take a freedom or an idea for themselves and then implement it themselves, because that's how others looking in ensure that that place gets the maximum amount of freedom for that place and those people. Going in there and telling them what they need to be doing and how they should be doing it and X, Y, and Z and laying everything out is you actually exerting control over them. But if you present the idea, right, and then what they take away from that, right, that can be the difference between you controlling something or allowing something to come fruition on its own. You see what I'm
So
saying?
I'm really trying to follow along with you in the movie logic. So Haiti is the indigenous peoples, and America can drop an ice bomb into the volcano, and the volcano represents Haiti's current ongoing crisis. with their president getting assassinated. But we, as the United
Maybe.
States, you go in there possibly only at risk of maybe a couple or a few lives, voluntary, by the way, because those they when they go for the missions, they're volunteering and shit. You know.
Yep.
Oh no! They do not volunteer for the missions. They volunteer to
Did you
serve
watch
the
the movie?
country. There is a difference.
Okay. I'm trying to stick with the movie here. That's the problem that with CTV.
No, I'm following you. I'm following you. Go ahead,
all
Joe.
right, okay. If the okay, so it's like the trolley question actually, but instead of the trolley question and it's 5 people and 1 person, it's 5 indigenous people and 1 American. And so like what we're suggesting is that like, you know, we should just, you know, fuck numbers. Fuck numbers don't make any sense. A million people are about to die and we can sacrifice a few people.
You didn't
possibly sacrifice
idea
because they lived in the end. They lived.
You didn't
possibly sacrifice.
But Jones, you didn't follow it all the way through, right? Like
I'm not saying that that's happening.
Hold on. Like now we're just getting into this part of it, right? Where I'm just not going to stop. So like this is where like you
don't know when to stop.
No, oh my God! Like
oh my God.
And you're so easy to frustrate.
We have almost no time left. CTV, finish.
Right. So Jones, right? You missed the idea all the way through, right? The problem that ended up coming with at the end of that part of the movie was when Captain Kirk thought that he knew best, right? And he says, well, I didn't get anybody killed, right? And you still have the Federation going, yeah, but it's against the fucking rules, right? You don't get to play God. And in the same instance, when it comes to the people of Haiti, it's good to sit back and keep an eye on things to be sure. If there ends up being like, you know, some really, really big problems with, say, like supplies, there's no food at all, like maybe there's a way to provide some type of humanitarian aid, possibly. But at the end of the day, we need to be more hands off and worried about our own shit than it is about trying to put our hands in other people's cookie jars.
I don't know, because I just think that if we had this like bomb that we could throw into the crisis volcano of Haiti, that could solve the whole thing like fucking instantaneously. I feel like that's worth it. I feel like that's worth it. And I also feel like we could ask volunteers in our military if they, because it was like to go out there and do this. But I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that that's what we should do in Haiti, because that's a complicated situation.
But the best thing about our country is, hold on, there's one thing real quick, right? The best thing about our country is, though, is it's not just government entities.
I don't know why anymore, because you continuously cut me off.
But right here, right? So real quick. The great thing about our country is, right, is that it's not only government entities that have the ability to be able to provide some of that humanitarian aid, but also the free market, right? Raise money, donations, like you can do this thing. So like that's the best thing. That's the best parts of America right there. Is it when the market takes care of these things and individuals in the society and not just complete reliance on the government.
Or we could elect people to send the money over with our tax dollars, which is kind of what we did. And that's what's been going on. And I'm
saying
I'm totally okay with foreign aid.
It's not just one
foreign
or
aid
the
is
other.
$40 billion a year.
But like we should be leaning more on the goodness of the society versus the
no. You guys are blowing this shit way out of fucking proportion. Foreign aid is only $40 billion a year. We're not talking about that much money in terms of the total amount that America pulls in in terms of tax revenue. Come on, like I'm sorry, y'all just don't have really a fucking leg to stand on there. Do I agree that we should be helping veterans and homeless people and people here?
So do you think that $40 million is enough to go to all the different places in the world?
Hold on. We can chew
bubble
gum and smoke weed at the same time. Okay?
No, you definitely didn't think it was performance enhancing a minute ago. What makes you think it's going to enhance your
performance? Has it been enhancing my performance? Is
that
that what you're trying to say? If that's what you're trying to get at, I appreciate it.
I'm saying that you're not trying to chew bubblegum right now. That's the difference, right?
I have some, but I just no.
Okay.
I'm
just saying, right?
I'm saying you can. It's not a good idea. I don't think smoking weed and chewing bubblegum is a good idea. It really doesn't taste that great. You chew the bubblegum after you smoke the weed to cover the
cotton mouth, right?
The smell.
All right. Well,
tips.
Weird. I'll have to take your word for that. All right. So, to my audience, we are going to go into the final round of voting. Yes, it's happening, right? We are going to choose the champion, right? So you get to directly choose who gets to be the winner here, right? So we're going to vote on that. But we're not going to use e-poll because there's been a lot of cheating in the past. Not saying there's been cheating today, but just like there's been cheating in the past. So instead, we are going to use a Twitch poll, right? Twitch poll in my chat. Same rules apply. 5 minutes on the clock. You'll see the timer go down. So there's no complaining. We can't do it within that time. That's your fault, not my fault. And we will choose among these gentlemen who'll be the winner. So I'll give you all 30 seconds on the clock to give a final statement as to why you should be the winner. CTV.
Well, I think it's obvious that we've had a really, really good and fun time tonight without allowing it to get too toxic, and that has been a direct result of my participation here tonight. If you feel so inclined to throw your vote my way, I know that not only myself and the Wolfpack will appreciate it, but you'll feel a lot better in the morning about it.
Okay. Let's go to aircraft Sparky.
Vote for me. Big man titties. There.
Big man titties. I think he wins. I think he just won this. Cracked it wide open. Let's go to Captain A. Jones.
What's up, chat? You know me. I know you. You know, I've had so much fun. I have to say, every single time I'm on these panels, I have way too much fun. It's been a pleasure arguing with everybody. And I'm just kind of honored. I know this is going to sound super cheesy, oh my God, but I'm just kind of honored to be here and to have participated in this, no matter who wins. But with that said, please vote for me. I love dunking on these conservatives, and it's just really fun. So yeah, vote for me.
Okay. All right. Baja.
Now listen, CTV did not let me off his wild ride tonight. He kept me here by force, and I think one of the greater punishments that you could do to him is by not even voting for me, but just not voting for him. I'm putting my support behind Captain A. Jones. And I think, honest to God, we tag teamed the fuck out of these guys. We had Sparky running earlier. Got so shook, he said man titties in his outro. What the fuck? Anyway, CTV, stroking his beard, plotting, trying to find out how he can get the hackers on this Twitch poll. But we won't let him. Prime prepared. So at the end of the day, don't vote for me. Vote for us, the collective, and we will rally behind Captain A. Jones.
Okie doke. Here we go. Starting the poll. 5 minutes on the clock. Vote, vote, vote right now. And yeah. So, I think this is a hell of a ride here so far. What do you guys think of your chances?
Fucking low.
You know, I don't want to look. I'm not looking, and I just want to say that seriously. I actually meant what I just said. Like it's always so much fucking fun. I love debating with you guys. Even CTV, who I'm sitting here calling an idiot and shit. Like I actually still love debating with even the most toxic of motherfuckers. And I mean that with all love, all right? I want only the best for both of our conservative friends and as well as Baja. Thank you so much for the words. That really meant a lot to me. You know, we do all need to rally behind one person in these votes, just like, you know, like the general election in our actual country. So
you're Joe
thank you
Biden
very much.
right now. And I'm like the
I love
mass
that.
of like
Wow.
Judge and Amy Klobuchar. I'm like a combination of the moderate Dems.
He just
Just
called you
missing the ice
smooth
cream.
brain. How does that feel?
I'm loving it. I mean, honestly, when people say that Biden talks slow, I'm like, you know what? That's the most relatable thing. Because when I get super high, I also talk slow. You know what I mean? That's relatable. When they called him tired, sleepy Joe. I'm sleepy. I'm sleepy. You know, that's just, that's trust. I can trust a person who gets sleepy.
So everyone, link is in not chat. But the Twitch poll is in chat. So go vote right now, right this second. Right, there's no complaining afterwards as to who wins or loses. Right, that's literally up to you. Right now, it's up to you. You can change that. You can decide who wins, but you got to vote. And if you don't, well, that's what it is, right? That's the will of the people too, right? Democracy isn't a spectator sport, so if you don't vote, then you don't get to complain. All right. So Sparky, yeah, how would you liking your first spot here?
I mean, whatever. It really wasn't. It was fun. I can't complain. Captain A. Jones, the fake captain, the not A and the definitely not Jones. He was a interesting man. I enjoyed actually hearing some of his takes. Baja Blast Freeze. Can't say anything bad about him. Of course, he didn't really get to talk as much as I would have liked to. CTV, man, I dig CTV. He's a good guy. A lot of fun. So yeah, I can't complain. Yeah, I got a little aggravated at one point, but hey, that happens. No big deal.
Well, yeah. Well, thanks for sticking around. I know this is a bit. Well, it's difficult when you're in the ideological minority. But yeah, thanks. For
No.
being
I don't care about that. I actually enjoy that portion.
Okay.
That's more fun for me.
All right.
No, it's the anti-Semitism I just can't stand.
Okay.
So I don't appreciate
Still,
racism.
I'm just gonna say it like this. That's a cheap fucking blow. Go back and clip that shit. I was given an example of what conspiracy theorists were saying back in the day.
Yeah,
that's what I was doing. But I think that's too much for you to handle. Go fuck yourself, you piece of shit. Hey, I take that all back. What I was saying about that one love shit. Fuck you, you pile of fucking shit. Go fuck yourself. Don't tread on me. I'm gonna tread on you right now, you fucking dirtbag.
Cool.
God damn. Fuck you. Trying to accuse me of being anti-Semitic. Go fuck
pretty low.
yourself. You dumb fucking fuck you.
Not a comment
Go
with
fuck yourself.
Yeah, you guys have been pretty sensitive this panel. I was not.
Yeah,
expecting
you
it.
sensitive
It's
little
kinda-
bitch.
It's kind of scary. I thought like the left were supposed to be the sensitive, like, oh, we're pussies, oh, we don't know what to do. But everyone's just complaining on the right side tonight. They're just trying to create foul outrage. It's just
Yeah, dude,
not
that's
what
so
I expected.
fucking cowardly. Go fuck yourself. Seriously,
Okay.
go fuck yourself. Yeah, you're a coward. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm glad we can end this
Mental
all as
broken.
friends.
I know, right?
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to be nice, but this motherfucker wants to be a dick, so fuck him.
Okay.
I tried.
Voting
someone
is
of anti-Semitism is
almost
pretty dickish.
over.
Come on.
Seconds left on the clock. We have a champion. A champion has been named by a single vote. So once again, democracy in action. If you didn't vote, no fucking complaining from you. Okay. So starting from the bottom, we have Aircraft Sparky. Again, Sparky, thank you for participating. Then next, Baja Blast Freeze. Also, thank you so much, man. Doing a great job.
Not dead last this time. Let's go.
The runner-up, Captain A. Jones, meaning the champion, by one single vote. If you didn't vote, well, fuck you. By one single vote, critically thinking veteran. Let's take a look at what a winner looks like. All right, let's put them up on the screen. There we go. That's what a winner looks like. I mean, behind all the emotes, I guess. CTV, how are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good.
Great.
It's not really about me. It's really more about the pack, right? Because the strength of the wolf is the pack, and the strength of the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack, right? All I am is just the physical embodiment of the individuals that are standing with me, and for that I am very grateful.
All right. So, great. Man, there's a lot of emotes here. Okay, great. But yeah, CTV made it number one. All right, so I'll give everyone. What do you?
Stop the fucking steal.
Okay.
Hey, we almost got him, chat. Nice try. We can get him next time. This goddamn, they come in force, because they have to vote for their one guy who's good at rhetoric because that's all they've got. We got him on the run, chat. All right, next time we'll get him.
Bring in
Okay.
an army.
We're putting the winner's name in on the screen so everyone will know through all of time who is the winner here. All right, gotta let them know. All right, so let's give an outro. So to my audience, the stream does not end. We're going to continue on to Open Welcome panel. We still have content coming your way. All right, this is not the end of the stream. Okay, but I'm just going to give these great individuals an outro, and then we'll move on to Open Welcome panel right after this. So the stream does not end after this. All right, so we'll start with Aircraft Sparky. Tell the world, tell the world where to find you, and anything else you want to say.
Alrighty, so I'm Aircraft Sparky, a combat veteran here on Twitch and on YouTube. You can find me both at Aircraft Sparky. Yeah. By the way, I voted for CTV. I thought he did better than everyone else. Congratulations, CTV.
Buddy.
Yeah, and look, Captain A. Jones. Yeah, you're an asshole, but that's okay. So am I. You have a great day. God bless. And I'll talk to all y'all later. Y'all take care.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, next we have Baja Blast Freeze. Once again, a person I very much appreciate. Like how his mind works, even when his mind works against me. So Baja Blast Freeze. Tell the world about yourself and what you want them to know.
All right, listen, I'm not fucking around anymore. I'm gonna start streaming. I'm gonna come back to Twitch. It's the same as my name, Baja Blast Freeze. If you like weeb shit, if you like fucking anime, you losers out there like me, I'm gonna be playing fucking Genshin. I'm gonna be playing Punishing Gray Raven. I'm gonna be playing all the fucking gacha games so that you all can live through me as I roll on these fucking gambling games, okay? And yes, we gamble now, okay? So follow me, Baja Blast Freeze on Twitch. Please, dear God, follow me. I'm begging, okay? That's it.
No, there's a real begging comes in. All right, fair enough.
Oh, hell yes. Oh, hell yes, I'm shilling.
Baja Blaster and Aircraft Sparky's links are in chat. Please go check them out. Give them a follow. Next we have Captain A. Jones, a tier 3 sub. Captain A. Jones, thank you for participating and fighting hard as you usually do. Captain A. Jones, what do you want to say?
So first, like seriously, oh shit, oh god, I'm having an issue. Okay, first, seriously, thank you so much for having me. I seriously, man, I have so much fucking fun on these panels. And I just it's just a blast every single time. Chat, I love you so much. Thank you for the votes. We're gonna get them next time. Don't you worry. And in response to this guy with the "Don't tread on me" flag, you called me an anti-Semite. Go fuck yourself, dude. Try to walk shit back. You're just an asshole, and you're a fucking coward for not even fucking standing there to actually defend your fucking points. The entire time you were being a fucking weasel. So there's my ending statement. Thank you so much, everyone. One love.
Okay. And last but not least, we have a winner. We have Critically Thinking Veteran standing tall at the top. Critically Thinking Veteran, what do you want to tell the world?
Well, I think it's obvious from the start that Jones definitely is renting out some space to Aircraft Sparky for absolutely nothing, right? So rent-free space, Sparky, you got it up in his head. Specifically, I'd like to give a shout out to BX Bullet TV, right? Brant for Liberty for coming in and being a part of the Wolf Pack, and as well as the rest of the pack. Just all you guys, all the support, showing up when I need you to, and it is so appreciated. If you would like to find yourself as a part of the community, we're very open. There's people on all sides of the political spectrum, because the thing that brings us together is good conversation and memes, right? Like, for example, erecting a deck. Like, you would not think that there's this kind of conversation could last for 2 hours, but erecting a deck is quite frankly one of those conversations that, at least over here in our community, we take really, really a lot of pride in a properly erected deck, right? So, like, it's all good, it's all fun. You can find us over at twitch.tv/criticallythinkingveteran, and you can come and get the Discord invite to the Infinity Acre Wood and be able to just be a part of the community that just continues to grow and grow. It's really quite humbling seeing how big it's grown, even and it just keeps going. So very happy to be here. Prime for the invitation, and yeah, just very happy to be here.
Okay.
Hey, one of the last conservatives not banned on Twitch, so makes sense.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry to get that dig in at the end. I apologize. That was kind of low of me. That was a little low of me.
Okay, all right. Well, fun. So everyone, thank you for our panelists who joined us. It's very, very nice having you all here. We are going to roll into an open walk on panel. Anyone here is welcome to join us, but if not, that's okay. Thanks for your time, your energy, your passion, your knowledge with my community. I know they appreciate it just as much as I do. Have a good one. Thank you.